All right, we're live.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, we're live right now.
We're live. We're live.
I think we're
Our
live.
great beauty will bring you great joy.
Wow, wise words to start the stream from Vincent's fortune cookie. Hello everyone, and welcome to the third session of the Final Rule, a completely improvised Dungeons and Dragons stream slash podcast. I, as always, am your host slash dungeon master, Glenn Underwood. You can find me on Twitter at May_tag official. We're going to go around and introduce everybody, starting with the mainstay players and ending with our very special guest for this week. So, Justin, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right. Hi, I am Justin Hayflick. You can find me on Twitter or Twitch at Drinks and Dice Gaming. I've done acting since I was in high school, so like 8 years. Theatrical acting, not too much improv, and I will be playing the Green Dragonborn Kintorla.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Needless to say, Chase, who plays Dorvis, our half-orc wizard, is going to be a couple of minutes late. He is, I believe, currently still on a film set. So we'll see whenever he joins in. But Vincent, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Vincent. I've been doing theater for a while now. I've been studying. I'm going to my fourth year university for studying theater. Doing improv for almost 4 years now. D&D for less than that. Yes, and we agreed on my social media tag being on here. So
Yeah, you never gave it to me though, so I couldn't add it.
you follow me on Instagram. What? All right. I'm a theater major. Is the sentence as
Okay.
I do study theater.
Okay, so I will have that added by the end of the stream. I'll work on that. While Brendan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Brendan at Brendan Vice. I've been doing theater for 4 or 5 years now. Been playing D&D for 2 years now with Justin, and I am playing Brooke Pendleton the second. Real chill guy.
Alrighty.
Who I was. Dang. I guess we'll find
Coming
out.
to you live from not home.
Vincent, do you want me to put your Twitter or your Instagram?
My Twitter. I never use my Twitter, so my Instagram.
And what is it again?
Maybe it's I'm a theater major.
So
I am a theater major.
Theater RE, right? You did that right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good. All right. It's on the stream now, so congratulations. Oh God, I did the wrong thing. Hold on.
Look at the stream right now and wow.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. So if I a couple more times. I hate OBS sometimes.
There's a second.
Oh no, there's so many of them now. Oh, good. This is the quality content everyone.
Follow me, please.
All right, so hold on. Let me change Brendan's back to what it should be. All right. Sorry about that. Hey, Ben, why don't you introduce yourself and tell people what you do?
Yeah, my name is Ben Desatel. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I work as a blacksmith and as a math teacher. You can find me on Backwards Anvil, either on Instagram or Facebook. But yeah, I just hit stuff hot and hit it with a hammer.
Nice. That's the most concise definition of a blacksmith I've ever heard. Hey, Brendan, is your Twitter's just your name, right?
Yep, it's Twitter and Instagram, all that good stuff. It's all just my name.
Okay, I think I got everything right now. So now that all of that's taken care of, thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you for everybody who's watching. As always, we're going to really quickly go over as I reach for my notepad so I can make notes as we go. We're going to go over the rules of improv that we use while we're playing, because as I said, this is an improvised Dungeons and Dragons stream, which means that everything we do is not predetermined in any way. Our backstories are not made for our characters. We don't really know who these guys are until we figure it out in motion. I've done no prep beforehand, so sort of whatever the story ends up being is whatever the story ends up being. And in order to help guide us along this journey that we're on, we follow 5 rules for improv. These 5 rules are yes and, right? So that's the first rule of improv. Yes is always the answer, even better is a yes and. which means that if somebody offers some bit of information, asks you a question, anything like that, the answer is always yes. You always accept whatever it is that you're given from anybody who's playing, whether that be me as the DM or any of the other players. The second rule of improv is work to the height of your intelligence. So in improv, it's really, really easy to sort of go for the low-hanging fruit, the lowest common denominator of jokes. But once you sort of, once you make the poop joke, there's not really anywhere you can go from there. Like, people will laugh and then they'll stop paying attention, right? So we're going to subvert expectations. We're going to go for the harder jokes. We're going to, do our best to be cunning improvisers. The third rule is give and receive gifts. So if I mention that, like, something is true about a character, or one of our characters mentions that something is true about another character, they will do their best to receive that gift and move forward from it, right? So
To say yes to the gift also.
yes, you say yes to the gift, and then you give gifts as well. You always try to find something that can help another player out. The fourth rule is going to be one that we sort of fudge a little bit. In improv, it's no open-ended questions, because asking an open-ended question like, how are you, sort of puts the onus on the other person to come up with a funny, witty retort. So rather than doing that, we're going to give as much information as possible when necessary. So if you walk into a town for the first time, go ahead and give us something that you see, right? If you meet a new NPC, make an observation about them. That way, I'm not creating everything. That way, we're not creating everything on our own, right? We're doing it as a shared effort. And finally, the fifth rule of improv is make everyone else look like a genius, right? So it is really, really... There's a lot of pressure in improv, doing improv, that sort of makes you want to be the funniest, most clever person in the room, the smartest person in the room, right? But we're not about that here. What we want to do is support the other players in our troupe and make them look like geniuses, make them look like the funniest person in the room. Because if we all do that for each other, we will all be equally funny, equally genius in our endeavors, right? So those are the 5 rules of improv. However, we of course are always playing with the final rule, which in this case is going to be the rule 0 of any RPG. Whatever the GM/DM says goes. There has to sort of be a moderator in these sort of situations that are being improvised. And nice cat. And I will sort of serve as that moderator. So I will sort of negotiate between the details that are coming in. If something's contradictory, I'll make a final ruling on it. But we all sort of have agreed to that in playing D&D with each other, right? So those are the rules that we'll be playing with. Let's sort of talk about where we left off last time. So we got to the city of Causeway. Everyone had their own sort of adventure involving shady figures, painting murals, trying to buy boots, and several bottles of whiskey. So we're currently in the city of Causeway. Everybody has retired to the inn for the night. Nobody has seen where Gorbachev ran off to, and everyone is sort of preparing for a nice, long, and well-deserved rest after the sort of chaos that's gone on in the campaign so far. So we are in the city of Causeway. Hey, Justin. What's the name of this inn that you guys are at?
Well, first off, would we have went to a better part of town, or would we have went to the outer skirts? I'm asking. Walter, where is it that you think we should stay?
I know a guy there, but he might.
Or like
In
what
light of-
area? What
in
area?
light of recent events, I don't know if we should meet this guy anymore. Like he was cool. I grew up with him, but like as we discovered,
All right.
I know a guy at the fortune teller, but like that's really it.
But
The
you're
fortune
saying,
teller, yeah.
But you're saying we probably shouldn't go there.
If I'm a terrible person like I discovered I am,
All right. Well, Brooks, is there an area of town that you would like to stay in?
I mean, Humble, Grundles, Bumble, and Mumbles is on the outskirts of town. But
But
I
can we
don't
sleep
mind where we
there?
I would like to stay in a bit more of a modest area. I,
Maybe stay away from humble trundles then.
Well, let me check.
Well,
Let me check the map. I have a map right here.
you
I'm
have a
gonna
map
look-
of
look at-
Causeway?
I found it on the ground. So
Yeah.
right here, around the circle part of
Oh
the town.
wow, that's a very intricate map you have there.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how detailed it is. Like, it kind of shows where we are right now on it, and I'm not comfortable with this kind of surveillance. Really, like I'm not okay with this.
Walter,
But
add to your
unfortunately-
inventory magical map.
Yes.
What?
We'll call it the map of GAHR hyphen MEN.
The map of Garmen right here.
Garment. Well,
I found a spot. The pencil sharpener.
Pencil
sharpener.
sharpener.
I don't.
That's such a terrible name for an inn. I love it.
know. I mean,
Like,
Blacksmith's Way. That place looks interesting too.
Blacksmith's
There's a couple restaurants near that one. We may be able to find a place to eat.
Are we trying to sleep somewhere? What's
I
our
mean,
goal?
Are you
this is,
hungry? I mean, I'm starving.
Okay, let's go to a restaurant.
I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of want to get fucked up, party a little bit. But
Yes,
can
but to
ask
do
them,
so
whatever,
safely,
we can
we
get
have
you-
to get some food.
We can get you a drink at the restaurant. Like I'm pretty sure they sell this kind of stuff here.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, cool.
you guys head down the street known as Blacksmith's Way, and we are going to say that there's a small inn on the corner of Blacksmith's Way and like 5th Street, right? So we'll say that like it's the city's arranged sort of like a spoked wheel, where starting at the top is going to be like 12th Street, and like a clock going around, you have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way around back up to like 11th Street, right? So 5th Street, or I guess this way on the camera that I'm on the corner of that one and one of the sort of curving streets, Blacksmith's Way. Hold on 1 second, I have to adjust some settings. Okay. We find ourselves at this inn, which is called Silver Tongue Sammy's.
Oh yeah.
So Silver Tongue Sammy's is the name of the inn on Blacksmith's Way, and there are a couple of restaurants around here as well. The most notable of which is going to be called the Forge.
Forge.
The Forge. The Forge. Look at this place.
I wonder. I feel like they probably serve barbecue. It's been a while since I've had some barbecue. Are you guys up for that, or I mean?
Brooke is ready.
I figured you had some sort of shirt like with that barbecue on it.
Brooke is like looking at his thumbs, and it's kind of like a little bit of barbecue sauce stuck under like bits of the nail. You what?
Well, do you want to go have some barbecue?
Yes, I do. You know, it's strange because as someone who could turn into an animal, you think I wouldn't want to eat animals.
No,
Okay.
animals are the tastiest. I like to turn into the animals that taste good.
Yeah, I like to
It
turn
just-
into
it just-
animals that kill the animals that taste good.
That's another good one too.
Yeah, I would think that turning
Like
into
that.
the tasty animals would be somewhat dangerous, wouldn't it?
It's the thrill, really.
It's a thriller. Just
Okay.
playing prey.
So you guys go to the Forge, which is it's like I said, it's about it's kind of like Chimes, right? Which is like it's a nice place, but it's not like a nice place. You know what I mean?
It's like a rustic nice.
Yeah, right. And like it is actually modeled like there is like what used to be a like blacksmith's forge sort of in the center of it, and like on the like the tables are sort of like around it, and it sort of serves as a hearth for the restaurant itself. But there is a nice bar over in the back left corner of it, and plenty of seating for whoever wants to sit down and grab a bite to eat. Everyone, like all the wait staff, are dressed in like leather aprons that are like sort of scoured up, and they're wearing like really thick gloves. They have a couple of like hammers and stuff like that. A few of them you can tell like have never touched any of those hammers in their lives, or any of like the calipers or anything like that. So like it's purely for aesthetic look. But as soon as you walk in, let's say a half elf woman comes up and says like, "Hello, will this be a table for 3?"
Well,
Oh,
I think we're expecting one more, so I would guess 4, maybe.
oh.
Are we?
Forgot about Dorvis.
Is Dorvis on his way? I mean, does
Yeah,
anyone
like-
know what...
He's walking around the city doing, how Dorvis is.
All right, then I guess it's just 3 of us.
All right, so she goes right this way, and she brings you over to like a table. It's like a booth, and sits you all down. And you she sort of brings you a couple of menus, like a couple of drink menus, stuff like that. They're relatively nice, like sheafs of like parchment. And she says, "My name's gonna be Lorraine. If you need anything, just wave me over. All right? Can I get you started with something to drink?"
I'll have an amber beer.
All
I
right.
have one of those. Well,
Okay, so 2 amber beers. And for you, sir?
I'll just have a water, please. What is
And-
the?
And 1 water. And she sort of like looks at you strange, but then she hurries off to the back or to the bar to sort of like open up a couple of kegs and like get all the beers and stuff like that. But she's taking her time, like she's in no rush to actually serve you guys anything. So while you're sort of sitting around and talking, let's actually take this opportunity while there's a lull before we get into like some major RP. So for the final rule, because we are an improvised stream, we do ask for suggestions periodically from our audience about sort of certain topics, and also like suggestions for what the episode should be about in a very broad sense. So at the top of every episode, I find a nice place to sort of stop, and this is the moment where I ask anybody who's watching to please input a suggestion. It can be any suggestion made at any time, but I will look for the first one that pops up on the stream, and the moment I see it, that's going to be a suggestion for the entire stream. The suggestion will change as we sort of go on, and we find that we need more suggestions. But starting, we'll say now, the first suggestion that I see on the stream is going to be the one that we go for. But in the meantime, I'll say that while you guys are sitting around sort of waiting for your beers and water, you notice that somebody in the corner of the room, sort of on the opposite side, has been eyeing up the party with a particular note. Also, our suggestion is beehives. Beehives.
Beehives.
Behave.
Oh.
So,
Oh, beehive.
oh, nice. So yeah, you guys
That's just
sort of,
I get that out of here.
I'm going to say that I believe it's actually, Contorla. You are going to notice, nope, sorry, Brooke. It is Brooke. I looked at the wrong stat. Brooke, you're going to notice that someone's sort of eyeing up the group, like very clearly sort of trying to size up who you guys are, what you're doing in the city. Pretty standard, like, insider looking at outsiders, right?
have I gotten my beer yet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I kind of like double take, and Brooke will go up and walk up to the guy.
Like, hey, where you going, man? What?
Just a minute, fellas.
All right.
Howdy. I noticed you were eyeing me and my friends.
Yeah.
All right, and this is the time whenever Ben, I will ask for a physical description of what your character looks like. So please introduce your character to us and what he looks like.
Yeah. So I'm a Brokar de Peck. The big boy, nice and tall and thick. My arms are covered in like scars that I guess you could say they resemble like cigarette burns, but that's just from blacksmithing. Yeah, black hair, green eyes, and like massive war hammer on my back, and like just covered in hammers,
Casual.
like 8 hammers strapped to my body.
Yeah, you.
How do you pronounce that?
Brokar de Peck.
Um, so yeah, so Brooke, it is almost as if you could mistake this figure who's watching you as sort of like one of the wait staff here at the forge. Like looks like a sort of blacksmithy type person, right? So
I was just wondering me and my friends could get our order placed in. We've been waiting a little while. Seems like y'all aren't in much of a rush. So
Well, I'm definitely not in a rush. And I pick up my just the thickest, blackest stout you've ever seen. Take a gulp.
It's just Vanta Black, the liquid. Just
good.
So metal. Well, look, I'm not one to usually be in a hurry, but me and my
Well,
friend.
if you're never in a hurry, then why would you be in one now?
Well, we're a little parched, and we just would like to get our drinks is all.
Well, maybe you should talk to someone that works here.
You, I am so terribly sorry. You are wearing the same attire as the one of the ladies who took our order, and I just assumed that.
Well, tell you what, you can do something to make it up to me. See, I'm a people's man, and I like to help people. And there's this fellow Torek I've been looking for. Does that name ring a bell?
Does Torek ring? Does that name ring a bell?
So Brooke, were
ring a
you?
bell.
It was Ken and Dorvis that went to the temple, right?
Yeah.
But Brooke,
No,
were
it
you?
was Dorvis and Gorbachev.
Oh, it was Gorbachev. You're absolutely right. It was Gorbachev.
Yeah.
But you were Brooke. Were you one of the people who watched Gorbachev do the painting, and were you the one that compared it to?
I did talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you were the one. You know who Torek is. Torek is the famous painter who has such works as eagle, bear, panther, fawn brandishing arms. If you remember that painting.
I've seen this guy's painting before. Oh yeah. Nah, you don't mean that fella who does the fancy artwork with the animals and whatnot.
Yeah. I think he also, murders people every now and then, or at least one person.
Well,
that's what I'm kind of worried about.
I don't know why he'd be inclined to do such a thing. I mean, he's a well-known painter.
I have known that he's been talking to a half orc wizard. The name escapes me though at the moment.
Now,
Friendly with any of them or not?
is this half-orc wizard maybe a little scared of everything?
Yeah,
Kind of
maybe.
skittish, maybe not the brightest for someone who claims to be a wizard.
Yeah, that sounds like the descriptions I've heard.
Does it kind of look like me a little bit?
Maybe.
Oh, he hasn't been listening. I can't.
This would be a perfect time for Walter to walk in and be like, "Hey,
Hold
What do you-
on. They
what
are
do you think?
different people entirely. This is.
What do you think Brooks is over there talking to that guy about, Walter?
Oh no, been there for a while.
like whenever he mentions like the fact that he's like looking for Dorvis, Brooke turns around and just waves at Walter and Ken.
I mean,
He's-
does that mean the food's coming soon? Like what?
I'm not sure. I mean,
just a thumbs up. Like,
I mean, he's been talking to that server for a while now, so I don't know what.
yeah,
You showed up yet? Or-
that's. I hope it's a manager or something. Cause
Yeah,
like,
because this service is getting really slow.
I'm
Like, I
still
don't know
waiting
how.
for my beer.
Alright.
I'm gonna get up and ask what's going on over there. I'll be right back. And I get up over there.
All right, all right.
And I see it's a Goliath, and I.
Oh,
kind
here's
of-
my beer. Thank you.
yeah." The beer, as
Oh,
soon as
he's
Walter
a-
leaves, the beer comes over.
Wait, what?
he's a Goliath.
It's a Goliath. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a
Brooke-
Goliath. I'm big old.
Brooke is
I read the
a
character sheet.
little emasculated.
Yeah.
So tall. What are
Like
you
he's-
What are you looking for these fellas for?
Who's looking for?
Tell you what,
he's looking for our drinks. I mean, he is the manager of this place.
He's the manager.
And then I turn back to Rogue.
Whose dog is this?
Rockar.
How do I say it?
Rohar.
The pack.
Rockgar? Rockgar?
Rockhar the Peck.
Rockcar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rock
I
hard.
turn to Rockcar and I say, I'm terribly sorry. I have to save a little bit of face. Walter's a dear friend of mine, and I can't have him thinking ill of me.
Well, tell you what. If you guys can help me out, I'll help you out real quick. And then I just walk up to the where the beers are, and then I just start serving beers for them.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
bring them
more
back to
beer.
the
All
table,
right.
Sit down.
Like-
This is a pretty chill guy.
Whatever Brooke did, it worked. I don't know, but
I am very good with people and social moments.
yes, not me at all.
No.
Okay, so
All right. Well.
Rohar is now serving beers to you guys, and Brooke, you're the only person who's aware of like what his intentions are. So you're gonna have to sort of
Well-
serve as the mediator between the two
he's
parties.
While he's serving beer, I want to like kind of like whisper to Walter and Ken and be like, I think our friend Doris might be in a little heap of trouble. See this giant feller here is
Well, you can't say he's a giant. That's not. He's not.
he's
He comes from
Relative.
folk, but he's not really a giant. He's a Goliath. It's kind of you got to be precise with the language there. Like
I just
know what you're-
imagine
I know what
Goliaths are bigger than giants than a
Yeah,
giant
but
person.
but
not
the
an
word
actual
but
giant. That's
it's
just
the
me.
descriptor of giants. Like no, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It
I,
is.
I come back with
Yeah.
like beers, and I like put my hands over Brooke's shoulders. Just like, it's okay. You can call me a giant if you want to.
I mean, it's a
I
good thing we checked. It's a good thing we checked.
I have never been so uncomfortable in my life than in this moment. Thank you for the beers, friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna help myself to the seat if that's not a problem.
Not at
Sure.
all.
Sure,
Go
my,
right ahead.
my friend.
Drop me my
Sure.
beer.
Very.
Yeah, you may have heard of me. I'm a well-renowned blacksmith and a hero. I'm a Rockar Depek.
No, you're wrong. I've heard of you.
Yeah, but I've heard tell that Torek killed someone, and that the last person to talk to Torek was this squirrely half-orc wizard. And
That's weird.
Brooke,
Now,
Brooke
fellas,
seems to know who I'm
that's
talking
Why
about.
I'm a little uncomfortable is because of the, probably talking about Dormus, you guys.
Well, we can't
Yeah.
be sure. There are a lot of half-orc wizards. Half orcs they might look alike, but they're very different people. Like it's not something you can really.
I hate this new Walter.
I
I definitely listed.
I don't know. I mean, Dormus is
personality characteristics.
I'm figuring out his voice too. I'm gonna get him a voice so that you can tell when I'm me or when I'm Walter. Because dang, this Walter is turning out to be something. He's turning into something right now. I mean,
A really bad social justice warrior.
All right.
Well, is our waitress coming back? I know what I want to eat. You guys figured it out yet?
No, Ken, we're talking about Dormus now. The food part of this whole thing is over.
I
No
mean,
more
I've
food.
I've been
wanted-
hungry this entire time.
I wanted the
I'm
special.
definitely-
I wanted the.
They have an owl bear ribs. They have owl bear ribs. I've been wanting to try that
Yo,
forever.
Do you have enough gold for
It's
that?
gonna
Though?
be-
That seems pretty expensive. Owlbears are not easy to get.
I have some.
Not to mention,
Enough.
you're combining owl and bear. It's gonna be a gristly and a gamey kind of meat. You sure
Yeah.
you want ribs?
Oh, definitely.
Also, aren't they like endangered around this part of towns, around this part of the country? So like, that's hella illegal. Like, I don't.
Brooke is writing in his journal like a note to like the Green Enclave, the Council of Druids, about how people need to stop poaching owl bears.
Listen, you guys. It's here. I just have to try it.
Wait,
Just have
you
to
saw
try
you
it.
talking to Lorraine earlier, the waitress?
Yes.
goes-
Yeah,
Lorraine.
well, I helped her out a while back. Let me see what I can do. And then I like shout out Lorraine's name.
Yeah, she like
Wait, before you do they serve Dragonborn here? If we're getting eat stuff.
What?
I'll try.
Wait,
I mean, you want to try
That's-
owlbear?
What were you asking about?
That's eating a humanoid. That's
that's
just weird.
Everyone-
Yeah, that's
Not
cannibalism.
strictly cannibalism, but like because he's not a dragonborn, but like that's kind of offensive to you, and like you really can't be doing that. Where are you? You're to my right.
You're
Yeah,
teetering, Walter,
really
you're
can't be
teetering.
doing that. You really can't be doing that here. It's not okay. It's I'm advocating for you. All right. It's I'm doing my best right here.
Who are you talking to?
Look in the stream. You'll see me reaching.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
all right. So Lorraine like walks over really quickly and she goes, yes. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, so my friends and I here, we really like to try some of those owl bear ribs. And what was it you wanted? Like dragon horn? I couldn't really hear you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind your most exotic meat, preferably something to make my friends a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
As
and
far as
just
some kind of dialect about whether or not it's right to eat animals and people, because it's pretty much the same, you guys.
I mean, you were just
Yeah, you're-
talking
you're
like
your
20
most
minutes
intelligent
ago. I'm pretty sure you were just talking about eating animals all the time, like 20 minutes ago. Like, what happened to
Like,
that?
and like
I
that.
still do, but I just think we can't
I get
can't
that. But like,
pigeonhole just people who like maybe some less intelligent beings into game and fuel for our bodies when you can eat people too. That's all I'm trying to say.
Walter
I mean,
gets up
it's
and walks
very-
away. He gets up and just walks
It's
away.
very-
All right. So Walter,
unhealthy.
you have split the party. You're off on your own adventure now. We'll get to you in a second. All right. So in the meantime, Lorraine's gonna go. I'll check in the back and see what I can do, and she like walks off to like the kitchen again. But yeah, no, like there is this question now in everyone's mind, which is like, yeah, shouldn't Dorvis be here right now?
I'm a little concerned for our weird little friend.
Yeah. It's odd. He said he would be back by now. I mean, he said he was only going off for a few minutes.
And you know what he didn't say? That he wasn't gonna get in a mess of trouble.
You're right. He didn't say that exactly.
so I pound the rest of my stout and then so to the party. What do you guys know about what happened with Toric and Dorvis?
Go ahead and give me history rolls, Ken and Brooke.
Here we go. That's a big old dirty 11. D&D Beyond.
It's
History.
D&D.
It's D&D. That's a 15 for Brooke.
History. That is a 14. For
15
Ken.
and 14.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys, I mean, you know of Toric. You know that he's like he is a very renowned painter, but you know that he's had like his background has never really been like super well established as far as like where he came from, like where he studied art from. He just like sort of came out of nowhere with this like really fantastic painting that got him on the map, and then like just basically stayed on the map from that point forward. There have always been rumors about like shady things going on in his past, but nobody's ever been able to confirm any of it. So the fact that he may or may not have killed someone isn't like shocking, but you feel like if that had happened, it would have been big news. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Um.
Well, I mean, when I was studying Toric for a semester, I mean, I did pay attention to some of it, and talked about the history of Toric, how he was just this unknown artist that came out of nowhere with these magnificent paintings of the eagle, bear, panther, and he just came out of nowhere, and then there are rumors sprouting around about, um, I guess the sort of thing that you said in painting with blood. But I always thought the school I was at just kind of passed it off as a joke. But I mean that's really all I've heard.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, can we all admit that Eagle Panther Bear is his best piece? It's my favorite piece, regardless
Yeah.
of murder.
I like
or
Bear,
anything.
Panther, Eagle a little bit better, honestly. I think it just fits the
Panther,
style
Eagle,
better.
Bear, Eagle,
He kind
Bear,
of
Panther.
deviated with Eagle, Panther, Bear, and I don't think it just came out as well as his other things.
It was the lesser sequel of the two. I agree. That's fair.
My favorite was the bear.
It was one of his.
I'm just a bear man.
The foundation of what made Torek who the artist he is today.
Bear.
He's anything but consistent, and hopefully it's not consistent with murdering people, but
John, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So at this point in time, like, you've noticed that, like, we have a suggestion from audience that there's also a painting called Beagle Bagel Bear. So that is also canonically one of Torek's paintings now. But at this point in time, like, you guys have been talking about this loudly enough that, like, people in the restaurant are starting to, like, notice and, like, are shooting you guys looks that are like, some people are like, oh, I can't believe these guys are talking about this. Some people are like, I cannot believe these guys are talking about this. And some people are like, these guys need to stop talking about this right now.
While we're talking about this, hey, do you guys remember Craig? Doesn't he look a whole lot like Beagle Bagel Bear?
Yeah. Craig.
But,
I didn't even notice him. Is he around here? Maybe he left off with Walter.
We'll get to where Craig is in a second too.
So we all noticed that everyone's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, and also you've noticed that Lorraine hasn't come back yet.
Fellas, I think we might be in a bit of. Might have been saying some inappropriate things and might not be as welcome here as we were a couple minutes ago.
Lynn, is this area that I'm at, is it like, am I the folk hero to this area, or?
No, so you're a folk hero around the outer rings. So like the city is like sort of ringed and it sort of rises up. Like I said, sort of like Minas Tirith, from the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films, how it sort of like builds up to the middle. But the outer rings are like the less are more poverty-stricken area, and as you go in, it becomes more and more like sophisticated. So you're the folk hero to the outer rings. You're in one of the middle rings right now.
Okay.
So you have like people have heard of you, but more as a blacksmith and less as a folk hero.
So, Rakhar, what are some of your heroic feats that you're speaking of?
My heroic feats.
Yes.
Well, I pick up hammers and then I hit metal. That's a very heroic thing. If it wasn't for me, then no craftsman could do their job. Clearly, the blacksmith is the king of the craftsmen. I've also solved several crimes out in the outer ring. I'm a bit of a detective myself. That's kind of why I'm looking into the Torek thing. There have been several murders in the outer rings, but no one really cared. But I think they're all related to Torek somehow.
You said you were a hero, and I figured you might have like killed a dragon to save the city, but
I outdrank a dragon once.
For real? Like, for real?
Yeah. Do I look like I would lie to you? Do I look like I couldn't outdrink a dragon?
I'm just saying.
Are you saying like a full-grown dragon, or like?
Or are you just like assuming the nature of dragons now, or?
What?
All right. So at this point in time, a couple
going back to this.
A couple people like stand up from the or like so Lorraine comes back forward and like just like walks past the table and like just two Rohar like slides a slip of paper and just like walks like back to her like post at sort of the front of the restaurant.
Well,
Well, I
that
can't
would
read, and I can't eat
Shalom?
this, so I don't want it. And then I just throw the paper, like,
Okay.
kind of off to the side.
I take the paper from Rockar.
All right. The piece of paper says you need to leave now. Like scrawled very quickly from the kitchen. Like now is underlined a couple times, all in caps. Like you really like. She's very clearly trying to tell you guys to get out of the building. Like in this.
Oh, my ribs
Man,
haven't even come out yet. I'm still starving.
With the
So what did the paper
We
say?
should go. We need to go now. We need to go
We
now.
probably should go. All right.
Let's get out of
Alright.
here.
We'll get out of here.
Alright, are you guys gonna potentially see Dorvis anytime soon?
I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe. You can come along with us if you want to. And when we finally find him, you can question him. But I mean, we've been with him for the past few days, so really, if it's happened within the past few days, I don't think Dorvis has much to do with it. But he may be willing to give you information.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go with you guys.
All right. So as you guys are leaving, Brooke, because you're Brooke and Rohar, because you're sort of familiar with how these sort of situations work, particularly Rohar, you notice immediately that two people are tailing you, like two big, human, like burly guys are like tailing you out of this building.
Like bigger than me and Rockar.
Not
Yeah,
as big, not as big as Rohar, but like as big as Brooke.
As socially awkward as Brooke is, I'm just gonna be like, "There's people tailing us," and I'm just gonna stop and turn around.
I kind of grab him and say, wait till we leave the building before we stop, just to
Oh.
keep everyone safe.
That seems wise.
All right.
Yeah, as soon as we get outside the building, I just like stop and turn around.
Yeah, like the two guys aren't even hiding the fact that they're following you, and they just like one of them has like a sort of like trimmed down mohawk, like the other one is going to be like he does have a bowl cut, but it's the type of bowl cut that's not like you're gonna laugh at it. You're like, oh no, if a guy this big has a bowl cut, like he has a reason for it.
It's so specific, but it makes so much sense.
So yeah, they're both pretty intimidating. But as you
But
turn
they're
around,
smaller than I am, right?
huh? They're what?
They're smaller than I am. Though.
Yes, they are smaller than a Goliath. But as you sort of turn around, like Ken, you're still facing the direction that you were facing, and you see a third guy walking up from the street. So you guys are sort of pinned between this like one guy coming this way and the two guys coming out from the restaurant.
Buddy, I really don't think you should be doing this. You should probably turn around right now.
Yeah. Nonchalantly, like draw my battle axe, just kind of holding it by my side, and warhammer, not battle axe.
Yeah. So, Ken, you spoke to the guys coming up. He's bald, like completely shaved head. And he like smiles at you, and like one of his teeth is black on this side, and one of them is gold on this side. And he just goes, "Oh, you're not in a position to be telling me what to do there, bud. You folks have been talking about things that you should not have been talking about in these parts of town.
Why?
Let's just say that there are very interested parties who hire people like us to make sure that certain things remain hush-hush out on these streets for the safety of the people."
While he's talking, like I turn to Rockar and I go, "Is it against like the law to, I don't know, maybe hypothetically, if one were to kill someone who was threatening someone, and that
The
person
answer is
seemed like
no,
they
it's
may be
called-
breaking the law themselves?"
Well, I can't read, so the law doesn't apply to me. So I say we just kill him.
I can read, and I say it's self-defense. So
Say no more. I turn into a.
I'm pulling-
Hang on a sec. I got all my animals here. I turn into you know what? Fuck it. I turn into a giant hyena.
Okay, so with the transformation being the sort of trigger for this, everyone roll initiative. Ken, Rohar, and Brooke roll initiative. Um, but but before we start this combat encounter, the first combat encounter of the final rule. So in 3 sessions, we managed to get one in. Hey
Way to
Walter,
go.
let's talk about what you've been
Final.
doing.
So as Walter leaves, he's starting to ponder, why he's deciding to become much more socially, aware.
Yeah.
Because I think it's been decided that Walter's been doing some pretty controversial stuff in his past. He was raised by family of racists. He grew up himself racist. He was a part of a very culturally insensitive show in high school. So at this point, Walter, and after dealing with that with Brooke, his head's like, what do I do? So I think in frustration, he tries to find a place where he feels like he can go and just talk about this. And he looks on the map. He finds a place. Something about it just draws him to it. The beehive.
The beehive. Okay.
He finds the beehive. And he decides, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna. Something just feels right about this place.
Yeah. So as you're walking over here, to your right, you hear, "My friend, is something on your mind? It appears as though you are deep in thought."
Oh no. Oh no.
I turn toward the voice.
Craig's there. He's just walking alongside
It's
you.
Craig.
It's Craig.
I want to grab Craig's hands, and we're gonna sit down right now.
Okay. He goes, Walter, you have always been a friend to me. I will hear you out, whatever you have to say.
Well, I used to be a very insensitive person.
Say it ain't so.
I honestly, I didn't start to change until I met these nice folks I'm with right now. And then I met you, and I was told such terrible things about mechanical people that I made an effort to make sure I don't do that to you or treat you that way. And so, I don't know. I want to see. I guess my question more is about, because I try to. Is it worth to do this? To change myself for.
Walter, my friend, as somebody who has stared into the literal face of God, I will tell you right now, the path to righteousness and being a good person is a hard, well-trodden road, and everyone who walks it comes out more like me, hard on the outside, but inside, truly a poet. Does this
Wow.
make sense?
Yeah. I just got to keep doing this, and if I go back to my old insensitive habits I've used to have, deny them, and I will continue to just be good. If someone else does bad stuff, I stop them, and I be better.
Walter, you are currently walking in the path of righteousness. I just want you to know how much I respect you for it. Where are we heading right now?
Greg, I think we're going to go to a place called the Beehive. It just feels right.
Lead the way.
All right, I get the map of Garman, and we start walking. Maybe
All
not
right.
hand in hand, but
Side by side.
side by side for sure.
All right. So you make it to this it's a structure. It's called the Beehive because it looks like a beehive. But Walter, you are about to face whereas Ken, Brooke, and Rohar are about to face a very physically demanding challenge. You're going to face a very emotional challenge for Walter. Because the Beehive is the latest and greatest gay bar in all of Causeway.
Perfect for Pride Month. All right, here we
Exactly.
Perfect.
So, Walter, you approach the very warm and welcoming atmosphere of the Beehive, but the inner and hard to let go of bigot that is a result of the way that you were raised and the culture that you were raised in is screaming at you to turn and run. But do you accept the challenge that the Beehive will have for you?
go. I want to look to Craig and be like, I'm
My
gonna
friend.
do this.
I am right by your side.
Thank you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in.
All right. So we'll cut back to the combat now. Can
Grab some
everybody?
dice.
Yeah. Can everybody tell me what their initiative scores were?
I got an
18.
18.
We have two 18s. And Brooke.
I got a dirty 13, but because I'm fat as shit, -2, 11.
Okay, so you have an 11. We have two 18s.
I'm not fat as shit for my viewers out there. I got a dad bod.
Clearly, you need to start blacksmithing and get a blacksmith dad bod.
It's the only thing superior to the dad bod. Brooke's got the
Missed that.
you got the pecs, but nothing else.
Hey, Rohar, what's your dex score?
13.
And Ken, what's your dex score?
He's before me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 0. His is 1.
All right. Then. All right, cool. I have the initiative order down now. So, Brooke, you turn into your wild shape, which you said was a giant hyena, right? And immediately the thug that's in front of you, is going to just like, go to like kick you, like basically like as you're like going down and morphing, he's just going to like go for like a swift like knee to the face. And he is going to roll to hit. And you managed to dodge out of the way of the first like sort of attack that he's coming for. But like it's like you morph down and just like immediately juke to the side. The knee comes up. You manage to dodge it completely. But as soon
I wanted to say, but before I morph, I did yell, "It's morphin' time!"
Incredible. So the knee comes up and you dodge out to the side, but immediately the pommel of a dagger is going to come down. Or rather, the pommel of a mace rather is going to come down to sort of like try to brain you, like as part of the same sort of motion. And that one's you're going to be able to dodge out of that one as well. So like, you dodge to one side, it comes down, you dodge to the other, and now you're squaring off against this thug. It's you and him sort of mono-eat hyena
laughing at this guy.
All right. Absolutely. You're more than welcome to hyena laugh at him. And now, Ken and Rohar, you guys are facing the other two thugs down. No, sorry. No, it's Brooke and Rohar that are facing the two down. Ken, you're facing this way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ken, this is going to be the thug that's on you. He's going to pull out a mace as well. And he's going to sort of like slam it against the shield that he has on him. And he's going to attempt to intimidate you by really like just basically flexing on you with like, he's a big dude, right? Can you give me a wisdom?
I'm a big guy.
Yeah. Can you give me a wisdom throw?
Wisdom save. Natural 20.
Okay, so like he slams on his shield, and then what sort of weapons do you carry, Ken?
I got dual short swords. I'm gonna pull them out of my sheaths, spin them around, and just kind of drag the blades against each other, make this god awful just sing noise just right back at him, and then like spit a little bit of poison out of my mouth.
Yeah, so he thought that he was squaring up against a lizard folk, right? Because you're still in your disguise. The moment he sees you spit poison, he realizes that he might be in over his depth, and he's going to be considered intimidated. So he's going to hold off on his attack for his turn. And Rohar, we're on your turn now.
Yeah. So I told Glenn, but any attack I do, unless I say it's not a reckless attack, is just a reckless attack.
You.
Oh, fuck, you're a barbarian, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So in order to do reckless attacks, I believe you have to be enraged. So are you going to enter your rage? Is that correct?
Reckless?
Yeah. You have to be raged to go in a bard,
Oh, okay. It just doesn't say that. Okay, but no, I'm not gonna enter my rage. So I'll just do a regular attack on the guy that's closest in front of me.
Nope, sorry, I'm wrong. Reckless attack can be done not in rage. It's frenzy.
Oh, it can?
It's frenzy
Yeah.
that is in
frenzy.
rage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It roast.
yeah, you can reckless attack with your warhammer, right?
Yeah, so I just pick up the warhammer and go to just like crash the dude in the face.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oof. So it's yeah, got an 11.
11 hits. Roll damage.
Nice. 11.
All right. So he you bring the warhammer down, and the dude's gonna sort of hold up his mace to try to block it. But you bring it in such a way that you actually crash him in the shoulder where he was like blocking for his face. And you get like a nice sort of satisfying crunch as you sort of land a blow on his off shoulder. Like it's not broken, but it's definitely like fractured at the very least. Yeah, it was a good like square hit right on him. But in doing so, like you brought it down with such force that you left yourself open for an attack. So it's Kin's turn now, but just be aware, like the reckless attack, he has advantage against you for the next attack, right?
Yeah.
All right, Kin, we're on you now.
All right. So first off, I am going to use my bonus action, and while I'm taking the two blades against each other, while I'm doing it, like a little bit of sparks as I speak some arcane words. Sparks fly off, and they kind of just stay in the air right there in front of me, and just go and just it kind of just engulfs him, and I cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Is that just happens, right?
Yeah, that's my bonus action.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, it just happens, and on hits I get an extra 1d6
Yep.
damage.
Got it.
All right. So then I'm gonna take 2 slashes with both of my short swords.
All right. Sounds
One
good.
slasher. All right.
Actually,
First-
just be aware, because you did a bonus action, you can only attack with one weapon. You get one bonus action per turn. The second attack is a bonus action to do.
I have two-weapon
Weapon
fighting.
fighting.
I thought.
Yeah, bonus action to attack with a different lightweight melee weapon that you're holding onto with the other hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
definitely get one attack, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Then yeah, the first one. All right, is gonna just be an 11.
11 hits.
Oh,
Roll damage.
well, cool. All
Yeah.
right. So
Low AC right there.
Awesome.
Almost
Love a good
low.
combat.
Real
Wow,
sexy.
7.
7
points.
damage.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so you slash across his leather armor, like his leather chest plate, and you sort of like leave a good sized gash in the leather itself. You didn't quite break skin on it, but you have left an opening for the next attack to sort of be
Okay.
a bit more vicious, right?
Dope. All right.
All right. So now it is the thug that you hit, Rohar. That's whose turn's up next. So he's going to swing at you with his mace. What's your AC?
13.
Okay, he beats your AC for the first hit. He is going to do 5 damage to you as he sort of like slams his mace sort of into your chest. And then he's going to like go for another attack sort of to the side. So like he pushes you back a little bit, gets you off your balance, and is going to swing in to sort of like aim for the ribs. He also hits on the second attack, doing another 5 damage to you.
It's rough, buddy.
Yeah. But that's going to be his turn, and he's sort of like laughing, like, you know, you can tell this is the kind of guy who takes way too much pleasure in his work. Like the bouncer that sort of takes a cheap shot at the ribs after he throws the drunk guy down on the ground. Like that's sort of this guy. Yeah, and Brooke, we're at you now.
I'm gonna. I was gonna make a hyena laugh noise, but I don't have the vocals for that. I'm just gonna I'm gonna fucking bite this dude.
Okay, sounds good. Make the attack roll.
That's-
Did you crit fail?
That's a nat 20. Can you see?
Oh, you got a nat 20? All right.
Nat 20.
There you go. Yeah, you crit.
Oh.
So the way that I run crits here is if you crit, you do max damage that you can do for the attack, and then you roll damage on top of it.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
So what's
Okay,
the max
I
that
do
that
know-
bite can do?
The max, it's 2d6 plus 3.
So it's 15 damage. So roll and then roll
15.
2d6.
Okay. Here's another thing though, is that as a half orc,
Yeah.
I get brutal criticals. Let me double check. Features and traits,
Is it
racial traits. I get savage
So-
attacks. Whenever you roll a critical hit, roll one of the dice an additional time. So it'd be 3d6.
Wait.
That's all right.
what weapon are you using?
It's whenever you score a critical hit.
No, I'm saying for the 2d6.
That's a hyena bite.
Oh, right. Never
Okay.
mind.
Yeah. So you roll so you'd be rolling 3d6 plus 3 whenever you actually roll, but you still do 15 damage base. That's the max
Okay.
that weapon can do.
So 3d6.
Damn, son.
5 plus 3. 8 points of damage. So 15 plus 3.
23.
8, 23.
So 23 total.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. You like so he went to go swing at you he went to go like knee you. You dodge out of the way. He went to go swing at you. You dodge the other way, and you just immediately jump up. Like you find your opening and just like go right for the throat. You don't manage to rip his throat completely out, but you manage to like gash him pretty bad, and like you can tell that you hit like the jugular, like blood, like every single heartbeat is like spilling out more and more onto his leather armor. He is now considered afraid of you, terrified, whatever. the
Shit's
stat
metal,
is.
man.
Yeah, it was a brutal. It was a.
Fucking metal.
So I also do run
Brutal critical.
brutal critic. What's the name? Massive damage. So if damage does more than half your health in one hit, we are going to have like permanent damage to you. So like you could lose an eye, or you could get like a scar or something like that, right? On the type of damage that it was coming in.
I'm gonna steal that for one IDM. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's I believe it's an optional rule in the Dungeon Master's Guide that I just like sort of adopted because I think it's radical. But anyway, yeah. So you inflicted massive damage. This guy's never going to be the same. But he is now considered terrified of you. And we're back up to the that guard that you just attacked, or the thug rather that you just attacked. And he is going to disengage and move his movement away from you. So he's 30 feet away from you now.
Does anyone get extra attacks of opportunity?
You can't outrun a
Not with
hyena.
disengaging.
Yeah.
Not with disengage.
Disengaging is an action that prevents attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
So now we are back to the
Get him, boy.
the one that's fighting Kin.
Yeah.
So you just like slash across his chest. He is going to attempt to shove you backwards into the group in order to like get you off balance.
Alright,
So
so
it's an athletics versus a strength save.
Strength save. All right. 11.
All right, so he goes to shove you, but like it's the fake tail that you're wearing. Actually, sort of like acts as a like a tripod. It's like he shoves you backwards and like you stumble, but then the tail catches you and you just like get right back up. So he's going to just like wait off on attacking you again. So we're back to Rohar now.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and rage.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would like to rage.
I'm gonna go ahead and attack. Reckless attack. Now.
All right.
Same attack.
I've been muted the whole time. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, a 23 with the warhammer.
It's not natural 20, right?
No.
Okay, yeah, you hit. Roll your damage.
Okay, 8.
All right. Yeah, this guy's looking pretty. Like you hit his shoulder, and like you any good tactician will tell you, and you've been in enough fights to sort of know that once you hit something and it doesn't break, you hit it until it breaks, right? Like you've already sort of found your opening, and you're just like going to keep wailing at it until either he gives up or his body does. So you hit again on that shoulder, and like really like now that arm is going to be pretty much useless for the rest of this fight. Yeah, he's not doing too hot right now, but he's still standing. He's still like staring you down, too into the moment to sort of realize how hurt he is. So now we're gonna move on to Ken.
All right, I'm going to take 2 more slashes with my short swords.
All right.
One with my action, one with the bonus action.
Sounds good.
All right, so first one is a natural 19 plus 2, 21.
It hits.
And then the second one is another 11.
Also hits.
All right, so the first one for 6 for the first one, and then 6, 10.
So
for
16
the second
total?
one. So 16 total, yep.
All right. Yeah, so you slash again, and you just completely split that leather chest plate open. And then you drive the point of your sword sort of into that gash, and you find purchase. It slips between a couple of his ribs, but you don't manage to hit anything critical. But he's definitely bleeding, and he's in pretty bad shape. It looks like all 3 of these guys are about ready to run and try to save themselves. But not before it's Brooke's turn as the hyena.
As the dude disengages and takes off, I will do everyone the favor of doing my hyena laugh, but it's not like a regular hyena laugh. I'm not like not a full hyena. So I'm gonna and I'm gonna run down to the guy who ran away from me, who disengaged from me.
All right.
And he only got 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And you got like 40 foot.
So because I am a hyena, I have a speed of 50, which means I still have my action.
Oh yeah, you do.
And I'm gonna fucking bite that guy.
All right, you have it. You have advantage on the roll. He's running away and not like actively fighting you.
Roll a 16 and a 5.
Yeah,
you gotta take the 16.
Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll your damage on that bite.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 3. That's gonna be 9 damage. 2,
all right.
4, 3.
You tear his Achilles tendon. Like you just sort of like get his ankle and just like rip it. Like he falls to the ground. At this point, the trauma and the blood loss knocks him out cold. He's gonna make his first. He's out of combat.
Would you say he's down to 0 hit points?
I would say that he is down to 0 hit points.
Okay, one additional question. Do I have because I have this thing called Rampage where whenever I reduce someone to 0 hit points, I can with a melee attack, I can take a bonus action to move up to half my speed, but I still have 20 feet. So I guess
yeah. So you can move 35 feet. Oh, you still have 20 feet left?
I have 20 feet left and then half my feet. So
25. So
yeah.
you have 45 feet of movement still.
Okay. Is there anyone within range of that?
You moved 30 feet, so yeah, you can get back to combat. You can bite the dude that Rohar is fighting right now. Or you can get back to it rather.
Yeah, I'm going to bite that dude's Achilles tendon, and then run off back. I'm gonna bite some other people.
So that was your bonus. You said it was a bonus action for the rampage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you don't get an additional attack then, unless you have multi-attack.
That's the thing, is that I get to move up to half my speed and make a bite attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it then.
It's an 18 plus something to hit plus 5.
All right, it hits.
Then 2. Oh, I rolled a 5 and a 4, so 12 damage.
All right, so you just crushed the dude's shoulder, and then Rohar, whenever you're in the like moment of fighting, You know, like all you're thinking about is tactics. You're thinking about like, do I swivel left? Like, where do I position my warhammer? And then like, so you don't even like register the blur of fur that just sort of like crosses your vision
The blur of fur.
as this massive hyena that used to be Brooke, just like really just like like basically bites around the neck of the dude that you're fighting and just like slams him to the ground. Like just like sprints and just like basically takes the guy down. So he's prone. He's bleeding out. It's going to be all too easy to finish him off. But now we're back to the guy that's fighting Kin right now. He's going to disengage. He's going to run 30 feet down the street towards 5th Street. And we're back to Rojar now. You have a dude that's prone in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's still within like striking distance?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. The hyena seems to have that, so I'm gonna like turn and sprint towards the guy that ran out
Okay.
30 feet away.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that with the way that you guys were positioned, you were like you have to be like logically 35 feet away.
Mhm.
So if you want to like you get within striking distance, but he's like almost out of range, right? Because your warhammer has a reach of 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, it does have reach of 5. But you know, raging, I don't care about distance.
Yeah. Fair
It's
enough.
a good thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so reckless attack. Oop, so do nat ones count when you're like when you have advantage?
No.
No. Okay.
Only if you roll that twice.
I've done that before.
Yeah. So what's your hit?
Yeah, an 11 again.
Okay, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
13.
All right. So how do you like you're sprinting after this guy? How would you like? What do you do in order to strike
I'm
him?
like, so I've got it, and I'm like, golf swinging up into like the back of this dude.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say that with that hit, like you catch him like right in the lumbar, and just like you get like a really satisfying like his back sort of bends over backwards as you like clip him into the air. He goes a good like 5 feet up and then just like slams down into the ground. And he's not moving anymore.
Oops.
So now we're at you, Ken.
All right. Seeing that I'm gonna run up to the guy that he just golf swung and and I'm gonna see if he's just incapacitated or dead. So a medicine check.
Go ahead and roll medicine.
That is an 11.
With an 11, you can tell that he's unconscious.
Okay.
But you can't tell anything else about his condition. Like you don't know if he's stable or unstable or what have you.
Okay.
You just know that he's out.
All right.
And now the dude who's prone, who got knocked prone by the hyena, is going to attempt to stand. And he uses half his movement to do so. And then he is very aware that there's no fleeing from this fight after watching both of his friends get mercilessly hunted down. He's just going to take a stab at the hyena. He does not hit.
For the hive.
Yeah. So he just he is going to appeal to your sense of honor, Brooke, and he's just going to lay his weapon down and just kneel in front of you. And it is now your turn to make your decision as far as what you're going to do with him.
I never thought of what kind of guy Brooke would be. He's looking pretty hurt.
Oh yeah, like he's almost like he's fading in and out of consciousness. You can see the sort of like mist has cleared and it's replaced by a different kind of fog that's like of somebody who's like barely clinging on to this world.
A bonus action, shift back into my revert back to my normal form,
Mhm.
and then can I use like my action to like pull out some rope and maybe start tying them up?
Yeah, absolutely. You can in fact, I'll even say that he lets you do it because he sees this as an act of mercy that you're not going to like kill him or anything. So he just lets you tie him up as soon as he's like give me a survival check to see how well you tie him up.
I miss my dice. Yep. Yeah, I don't do that. That's a big old. That's a one, y'all.
You're rolling that one.
Throw
So-
the rope off.
Nat one. A digital nat one. Biggest fuck you, man.
So okay, here's what's going to happen. You like pull out the rope and like you go behind. Like, he puts his hands behind him, like he has his head down. You know, you like go to start tying him up, and like, have you ever seen somebody who's like trying to be like really like savvy with like like trying to do a hitch or something like that, and like, but it's very clear they've never done one. They're just kind of looping rope around itself, like trying to tie something, and then like it just like falls off, so they go to do it again, and like it just can't get it. So eventually the dude's just gonna be like, really? Come on, man. Like this is what we're
think
doing.
My rope is a little broken. Does anyone have any not broken rope? Mine's a little you know what?
So are we out
Not
of
I'm gonna
rope?
broken.
tie this guy up.
You say you're not going to tie him up, Brooke?
I said someone
Someone else.
time.
Yeah. So he has
I-
the respect that he just had for you for like sparing him and like actually being a decent person is gone now. Like he has no more
It's
respect for
gone
you.
now.
Yeah. He did for a second, and then he's like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's like doing. So
All right, I'm gonna
Second.
be coming
Real quick.
back, dragging the other guy behind me by like a leg, and then hear him and throw him my rope and see if he has a better chance with my rope. Broken
Brooke-
rope here.
Brooke, your confidence is shattered at this point. No amount of rope, no kind of rope that doesn't do it for you is going to be able to like actually help you out here.
Not good with my hands. I struggle with tying rope. Damn it! I'm so good at
So
survival.
the guy's just gonna be like, he's like looks at everyone. He goes like, I can't believe we were beat by you, and just like passes out on the ground. Like, so you guys now have everyone's unconscious. One of them, the guy that had his throat ripped out, the first one that was knocked out,
Dead.
is clearly like he's unstable. Like he's gonna be. I'm gonna make some death saving throws for him here in a second. But while you guys sort of brainstorm about what it is that you're going to do from this point forward, with
Walter,
these guys,
Sure.
we're gonna talk about Walter at the Beehive.
Hell yeah.
So Walter and Craig walk into this this club. You know, that's basically what it is. Is a nice like hip trendy club. To see that like it is obviously like a special night here. Walter, your senses are assailed with bright colors, flashing lights, some fog that's being magically conjured up out of from underneath some curtains, and a whole lot of people dressed in very like some of them are like rather tasteful costumes. Some of them are like purposefully distasteful costumes. You know, sort of like obviously flamboyant about whatever it is that they're celebrating. But this hits you like a wave of bricks, right? Like if somebody's just chucking bricks at you, everywhere you look is another hit to the face, right? This is not what you were expecting.
No,
And Craig says,
I think
Craig looks over at you and goes, is this something that you humans do? I do not know. I do not know about your world. Will you explain to me what's going on?
I'm gonna talk and be like, this is not what I thought it would be either. I was told terrible, terrible things about anyone that wasn't me. And they were all kind of the same few lies. So far, this hasn't lived up to those lies. This is so much better than I thought it would be.
So Craig says, what do we do in a place like this? I'm so out of my depth.
I don't know. Can you drink?
I have never tried.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bar and get some drinks.
All right. So the bar is manned by a lot of folks in very sultry bee costumes. Like we're talking about like separated tops and bottoms for every single person, like a really exaggerated stinger. Think like commedia dell'arte, like cod pieces, but like strapped to the back, right? Like that's
Gotcha.
yeah, that's sort of like the vibe that they're going for here. They have like the antenna and stuff like that, and you walk up to there's a couple of different people that you can choose from. So who describe to me the type of person who's working here that Walter decides to walk up to?
Well, he walks up to somebody that they I mean, they're like, think of like Dwayne Johnson, right?
Okay.
He's a bit bigger than Dwayne Johnson. He's like, and he's like tall, like it's yeah.
So you
just this
basically
big-
walk up to like a Dave Bautista.
Yes.
Like just this mountain of a man.
Yes, this mountain of a man wearing that bee costume. I imagine he has face paint on also as part of it.
Is his name
he's
Dave Bautista?
Yes, his name is Dave Bautista. So Dave Bautista, is going to like eye Walter up, and like not in like a like a sultry way, but just sort of like trying to figure out the kind of person that he's working with here. And he looks at you and he goes, hey friend, you look like this is your first time here, if I'm guessing right.
he nods.
Yeah, you look a little bit shell shocked. You're not from around here, are you?
No. He shakes his head. He doesn't say no. He shakes his head.
And who's your little donut friend?
Craig.
And what's your name?
Walter.
So, Walter and Craig, what brings you into the most happening place here in Causeway, the Beehive? You know we're in the middle of a celebration. Is that what brought you here?
I'd like to celebrate. I want to be a better person. I figured coming here would help.
Well, the first thing you're going to need to do is change, then, friend. I've got some. Let me see here. And he rummages underneath the bar, and he brings out this sequin like chest plate, right? Like it is actually like leather armor that just like covered in like these bright like red and purple sequins. And he goes, hey, you're lucky I brought this. I wasn't aware that we were going to be in uniform tonight. I thought I was going to be able to be in my costume too. So this looks like it might fit you well enough to where you blend in a bit more. Because right now you are standing out like a sore thumb, my friend.
Can I keep the cape at least?
Oh, that cape? That cape is perfect.
Oh,
And those boots
please.
too? My friend, you have excellent fashion taste.
Okay. Well, I'll go change then.
I'll have a couple drinks waiting for you whenever you get back.
Thank you. What was your name?
Me? My friend, you can call me Dave.
Thanks, Dave. And I go get changed.
So it's Dave Bautista, the Bautista Barista, I believe is what we're...
Perfect.
So, yeah, you go and get changed, and, like, despite the, like, so this has clearly been, like, this costume's very, like, a lot of care was taken into it, because though it is sequined and it is built like a leather chest plate, it also is, like, transparent along the midriff. So, Walter, you're wearing your brown pants, like you always had. You're wearing this sequin chest plate, like I said, that like your midriff is just exposed. You're wearing your white and gold boots and Swift's cape, and you have never felt both so exposed yet so comfortable at the same time.
I feel very free. I feel, strangely, it's comfortable, and Walter just doesn't know why, but he feels very great right now. And like again, Walter's like, I mean, we mentioned I'm like old. I'm like the older person in the group. I feel. I mean, like I look older. I'm like aged. I like mid to late 30s. Not to anyone who's about that age. Hold on. Old. I say older, not old. Let me be clear. I'm like maybe late 30s. Late 30s.
All right.
Walter now.
Yeah. So you walk out of the sort of rest area, and like you see people partying, and like Dave notices you, and he like gives you the thumbs up, and like Craig turns around, and, like Craig's sort of like still trying to figure out what's going on, and Dave is gonna hold up like a glass for you. It's like a tulip glass that has some sort of like green drink in it that you've like never seen before, because you're just used to like beers and ales and stuff like that, you're right? But this is like clearly a drink that took some time to prepare.
It's a fun night, and I think Walter is already starting to feel better. He's gonna take a drink. He's gonna take that drink and just down it right there.
Yeah. And Dave goes, "Oh, well, be careful there, friend. Like, I'm not going to say I made that drink a little bit stronger for you, but I'm not going to say that I'm treating you like a kid."
Oh, all right. Okay, this is good.
Hey, speaking of Walter, it's my responsibility to ask you: are you here with friends right now, or are you traveling solo for now?
Just went like in the city. Yeah, some friends somewhere in the city. I split off with them, and I found my friend Craig right over here, and we made our way over here.
And why aren't these friends celebrating? This is a big deal in Causeway. Bunch of different places around town are going to be celebrating tonight.
To be honest, I have no idea what we're celebrating here. I just needed to change, and I already feel so much better. I don't know where my friends are. They were talking about stuff that I wasn't okay with, so I left.
This celebration, all about being yourself freely. We call it Causeway Your Way. This is the Causeway Your Way celebration.
Causeway or the highway.
Hey, that's our motto for the celebration. You're already catching on.
Yeah, I read the sign. I saw it right there. It was very nice. It's catchy.
And your friend here, Craig, you said your name was, right? Yes, I am confused about this celebration. You see, I am new to this world. And he's like, that's okay, friend. All of us start out new to this world. What are you drinking, Craig? Craig says, I guess give me your strongest drink. So Dave says, you know what? You guys are all right here. Let me take care of your tab for the night. And Dave is just gonna start mixing drinks for you guys. Like, so you know, like it was Tom Cruise, right? That was in the bartending movie. Like it was called what was it called? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Never seen it before.
Like where they like flip the bottles and like it's really like spectacular, sort of like bartending
I'm
stuff.
familiar with
It's
the concept of flipping bartender
like
stuff.
a show.
Yeah,
Show bartender.
Yeah, so like Dave is like on the level of like some of the best bartending, better than anything you've ever seen, Walter, because you're used to people just like opening a keg and just like pouring something often like terribly and like giving you whatever it is they pour, right? But he's flipping bottles, he's opening tinctures, he's mixing leaves into drinks, like he's going all out for you guys, and he's gonna hand you a couple more drinks and say, now I'm gonna be keeping an eye out on you, Walter, to make sure that you don't have too much fun tonight. But why don't you go and celebrate with the people?
Oh, you're the best, Dave. I'm gonna have a great time.
So Walter, yeah,
I feel like since he's been sipping on some light ales his entire life, that anything that's just like concentrated like this is already getting him.
give me a Constitution save.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I like let's like play within the system. I enjoy that idea of actually doing that. It's a 3, so it's really.
Walter, you are
time.
feeling good. And
he's gonna start dancing.
All right, so Walter's dancing in the beehive, and people. Walter, give me a performance roll. How good are you at dancing?
Dear God, well, he was in several.
Yeah,
one very controversial showing, but like I hope the skill transferred over to 19. So he actually learned a lot from that performance.
Walter, you are feeling good. You are bringing back all of the moves that you learned for Hedwig and the Angry Elf. Like you are tearing. Hedwig and the Angry Elf, though it was a controversial show, did feature some of the best dance choreography that Townway had ever seen.
It actually won. What award were they?
The Craig Award. Yeah, the Craig Award.
Yeah, they won the Craig Award for best choreography.
And so like you know your way around a dance floor, and everyone's noticing. So by the time that you get in the groove of the band that's playing, people are clapping for you. You're getting drinks thrown at you. Like a couple people throwing beads. You know, like you are living your best life out here. And Craig is sort of like sinking into the corner, like clearly still not understanding what's going on here.
I'm gonna go over. Craig, you gotta join in. Did the drink not work, brother?
I drank it. I think I can feel it sloshing around inside of my hollow interior.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
What are you doing, Walter? What is this?
I hold his hands like, let's just dance, man. Enjoy it for a little bit.
If you say so, Walter, I will try this dancing. So Craig goes out on the dance floor too, and you're going to start teaching him how to dance as we cut back to Kin, Rohar, and Brooke. So you guys have these, one bleeding out, which I'm going to go ahead and make his death saving throw. Yeah, he's not doing well. The other two are
I'll
stable
go
enough.
ahead. Hey, y'all think I should like save this guy's life? I definitely can.
I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. We have two of them, and these two can speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, shouldn't we kill two of them and just leave one?
That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought you already had this one dead, Brooke. So that's why I went over and checked on the other guy.
Do they react?
Actually, I haven't even checked if this guy is actually alive. I just know, he's not conscious, of course. So, I mean, this guy might be dead. So,
Well, maybe let's at least get the bodies off the streets.
good idea. Yes.
All right, so there are a couple of alleyways that don't look particularly well traveled nearby. There is like blood on the streets, which is going to be a bit harder to cover up.
It's we're in the rough part of the town, right?
We're in the middle part of town.
So probably not as many homeless people or
Yeah.
urchins. Can I roll to see if I spy any like little street urchins,
Yeah,
little
give me a
street kid-
perception check.
Hell yeah, brother, I'm good at that. That's a 12 plus 5, 17.
Yeah, you notice peeking out from one of the alleyways are a couple of kids that clearly, like, they've lived on the streets for longer than any kids should.
I walk over to him.
Yeah. Having watched the carnage and watched you turn into a hyena that almost ripped a dude's head off, they're going to be, needless to say, a bit skittish of you as you approach.
I'm putting my hands up and slowly look, kids, I got a favor. I got old Brooke has a favor to ask of you. That old.
I'll say it's a boy and a girl, right? A little boy and a little girl. The little boy points at your mouth where you still have blood, like in your like on your face from like transforming back from the hyena, like from having ripped the dude's throat out.
Jeez Louise, look so silly right now. Hey, y'all mind doing me a bit of a favor?
The boy shakes his head no. Like, no, I don't want to do you a favor.
I got money.
This the boy's eyes sort of widen, and you can tell that he's very conflicted inside about the prospect of maybe being able to get them food for the day, but also helping out somebody who just murdered a man in the middle of the street.
I'm a pretty insightful guy. I can sense the confliction. Like, what about a little bit of drugs too? Throw in the mix.
I'm going to roll a d12 really quickly to see how old these kids are.
Oh, no.
They're like 9,
Whoa.
dude. They're like 9, like 9 years old.
Yeah,
You know what?
Cheating children.
Chill out with that, man.
Yo,
Yeah,
look
walk up
over.
behind Brooke. It's like, you wouldn't be trying to sell drugs or give drugs to these children now, would you?
It
Yeah, I
was a
think
trick
this-
question. I was trying to see if the kids were like trying to buy drugs, so I could infiltrate
We're
the
tweaking.
dealer, infiltrate the dealer, find the supply.
What the
Uh,
hell?
Well, it's mighty kind of you. I kneel down at their level, and you guys wouldn't think that old blacksmith rock hard to peck would hurt these people without a reason, right?
Let's find out if the kids know who you are. So the boy looks at you and like it registers for him. He's like, oh my, like this is Rakhar, you know, like he knows who you are. So like as soon as he comes up, he actually is going to he's wearing like a little cowl, like a little sort of like burlap cowl, and like he pushes it to the side, and like he has a makeshift hammer like hanging off of like his belt loop, you know. So he's actually a fan. He's actually a huge fan.
Aww.
Well, son, I'd sign your hammer, but I can't read, so.
Rocco, it seems like
The boy's gonna point at himself and he's gonna say, "Me neither. I want to be just like you, Rakhar."
Oh, now see that's where I have to fucking disagree. Okay, just because your hero might not be able to read, I say aspire to the good parts of your hero. Not every. You don't want to directly be a copy of him, right? You want to be your own person, maybe inspired by him.
I would have to agree with Brooks here. I mean, school is important. Reading is a very valuable skill.
The kid's completely ignoring both of you, and he's like, he only has eyes right now for Rakhar.
Now listen, son, I don't think the law enforcement is gonna handle what we did here too well. Any idea or like, you know, maybe where we could drop these nice fellows that are asleep off somewhere?
We need you to pee. We need you to pee on the blood and wash it away.
So the boy is gonna look at you and he's gonna say, "Does this mean that I'm your sidekick, Rakhar?"
I'll think about it.
And then he's gonna like give you like a
Bruce
really sloppy salute, and he's going to like he actually has like a water bucket or something, like, you know, he finds one, like he cleans everything up, and he says, you can bring them to where my sister and I live. It's right down here.
I don't want to bring the dead bodies to your house.
He's like, no, it's like in an alley, like it's not a house.
Oh, okay.
They're poor, remember? They're homeless still.
Brooke is already dragging him towards like the direction of where he pointed.
All right, I guess we'll each get one.
Yeah, I'll grab one.
All right, Brooks, of the two that are, I think, still kind of conscious, could you tell us which one's in better condition? And well, I guess the other guy.
Well, actually,
What does that
they can both hear us, right?
The kids
The
unconscious. They're out. Like they're not conscious right now.
So I want to wake them both up and tell them whichever one tells us the best information is the one we'll leave alive.
How are you waking them up?
Well, I'm assuming slapping. You know.
You slap one of them.
Probably.
You slap one of them, and he does wake up, but he immediately starts, you know, being very upset that his legs no longer work. Having been
This is your word.
paralyzed by a upward swing, a golf swing, if you will, of a giant warhammer. And the other one you slap around, and like he's too beaten and bloody, like he's not stable, like he's dying actively. The one that got his throat ripped out, like dead by now.
I think the angry paralyzed guys are best option.
I mean, you really want to, like, I feel like he's going to argue the fact that, you know what, I can't just heal both of them and say, I'll heal you if you tell me what I want to know. And then we can, whatever that means. You did that, Rocco, I don't know sign language.
I mean, it means kill the other one. This is just slicing their throats, cutting their head off. Either one you want is just death.
Yeah. So the guy who's like paralyzed now like looks up at Brooke and goes, "Wait a second! You tell me you can give me my legs back? You can give me my legs back. I need you don't understand. I have a wife and kids. I have a family to look at. I can't work without my legs, man."
Maybe you should have thought of them before you became an assassin, but whatever.
Whoa, no. I wasn't trying to kill nothing. No. I was just here to rough you guys up, get you to stop talking about what you were talking about. I was protecting you. You don't understand what you guys were talking about, as loudly as you were talking about. You're lucky they
You
didn't
just said you were hired, though. You just said you were hired by somebody, like right before we started fighting.
to shut you guys up. Yeah.
Well, who hired you?
Look, man.
Damn shame if I casted all my spells and didn't have anything to heal you with.
No. Look. Here's just the thing. Here's just the thing. All right. I'm just gonna lay it out for you real simple. All right. I was trying to shut you up because there's some things in Causeway. There's some things in the entirety of Grendel that you talk about. This is one of them.
Well, May, you didn't even say that. You just showed up with weapons.
Yeah, I mean,
Because that's what people pay me to do.
Who pays you?
Yeah.
maybe you should be better at your job. I mean,
That too.
So I'm gonna roll for intimidate and
Okay.
threaten to break his arms as well as his legs.
Roll with advantage.
Cool.
cool.
It's high. I'm getting.
Yeah, 17.
All right. What are you doing to intimidate? You just like you're straight up like I will break your arms as well.
So I'm like towering over him with my like warhammer in my hands. Like, I'll break your arms as well. Tell us what happened. Tell us who paid you.
Look, all right. Here. I'm not trying to be difficult. Believe me, I need my legs back, and I need these arms too. I'm trying to send my kid to school for. Look. This guy that you're asking about, right? This Torek, he runs in shadowy circles. People that even if I wanted to talk about them, I couldn't say shit about. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they do. But they are very influential, especially around the
Who are
artistic. Look, man, if I knew, I would tell you. If I knew, you would know everything right now. I ain't above spilling my guts to you. I could hide away somewhere. I'm real good at that, but I'm telling you everything I know. All I know is that they're
Can I make-
very. What's up, Brooke?
Can I make a insight check to see if he's lying or if he's like being truthful or
Yeah,
he's
go ahead.
like covering his.
Yeah, roll insight.
No, nope. No, it's a 2.
Yeah, as far as you know, he's being very truthful about what he's saying. I will say, even with a 2, like it's obvious that this guy's like, even if he doesn't know anything, he's still scared about the fact that he knows anything at all. Like that he's even getting a paycheck from whoever it is that's
So-
paying him.
So he's saying he got hired by someone, but doesn't know like any names, any organization. So that's what he's basically saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you get the money? How do they pay you?
I know a guy. All right. I can give you his name. Maybe he knows something I don't know. All right.
That would
That
that
may
would be
suffice.
that would be in your best interest.
All right. Look, you'll find him. You'll find him at the Blacksmiths Guild Hall. In here in
Okay.
town, it's just further along Blacksmith's Way. All right. He's the guy who pays me. I don't know where the money comes from. I don't ask questions. All right. Asking
Alright,
questions
name.
docks my pay.
A name.
All right. His name is Chartel. All right, Chartel. That's what I know him as. He's
Shoto.
yeah. Rahar, you've heard of him before.
Yeah. Real short dwarf, like
yeah.
extra short for a dwarf.
Yes.
Can't even reach most anvils, that guy.
Yep. But very well renowned for a lot of his smithing work.
Yeah, he makes really tiny stuff because he's so tiny. Yeah.
Like little stair sets you can climb up and grab door handles with, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so my advice to you is pick up your family and leave this town now. That would probably be your best interest.
No,
And
I will.
Brookworks is magic. Get out. I don't wanna see your face ever again. Because if so, I mean, if this guy's, he already paralyzed you and threatened to break your legs. This guy, you saw him rip someone's throat out.
I mean, I
I'll
didn't get
think-
any food. I'm still a little hungry.
I'm pretty hungry too, still. Yeah, so.
So here's the thing about Brooks' spells. As I'm looking at them
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
Here's,
No.
here's my deal. I'm almost certain that Brooks,
No, it doesn't.
fairly certain that a level 1 spell can't unparalyze someone. And
Absolutely not.
yeah, so
Smith.
I'm not. I've been known to tell a fib or two.
Brooks, did you lie to this man about fixing his legs?
Look, to the best of my ability, I said I could heal him. I didn't say he'd walk again.
Well, sucks for you. So.
No. There's a temple. There's a temple down on First Street, close to the Capitol. If you give me a bit of coin, I can go there and they can heal me.
All right. How much coin do you need?
Let's see. To cast, I believe it's healing word. Not healing word. Which one is it? We'll say 5 gold.
Restoration.
Yeah, restoration.
All right,
restoration.
I'll flip him 5 gold. And I guess we'll just take him there and.
No, look, I can't be seen with you guys anymore. All right, I don't know how many people saw that brawl. I'll find a way.
Well, what? All right, you find a way. Here's 5 gold. I'm fucking hungry, and I need a drink. So.
Yo, how do we know he's not gonna go and alert the authorities?
Well, he can't do it too quickly. He doesn't have legs.
Yeah, I mean.
That's true.
And also,
he really only knows your name.
At this point,
Right.
at this point, the kids have already pretty much cleared the street, so there's not really any evidence. You don't know who was watching during the fight, but nobody's approached you or anything like that. So, as far as you guys know, you're in the clear.
I killed the guy, the paralyzed guy. Someone said my name. Someone said my name.
You said your name to the kids. Oh right, they didn't hear you. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't want to see the kids watch us murder some dude. So
no, the kids.
try to stop him.
I thought the kids were gone. I thought
they were clearing the street, right?
Oh
yeah,
right.
The kids are clearing the street right now.
Did someone say my name?
Oh, you've already committed to killing this dude, Brooke.
I'm actively trying to stop killing the guy there.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill him and hand the 5 gold back. Get back to Ken and be like.
So we do have a conflict here.
Okay.
I need you both to roll initiative to see what happens first.
Okay.
How fast your reflexes are, basically.
I'm going dead last. I got a fucking 4 minus 2, 2.
Okay. And where do you got Rakhar?
Yeah. What did you want me to do?
Roll initiative.
14.
Yeah. Okay. So Brooke, you you let's see. What do you have? You have a scimitar.
A shillelagh, and I'm gonna smack.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna crush him. Yeah, you cast shillelagh, and as you raise the wand up to just crush this dude's skull, Rakhar, what are you gonna do to stop him? How do you stop him?
I just grab his arm and start trying to lift it up and kind of lift him off the ground with his arm.
All right, so you at the very least you do stop his arm. The arm is not coming down to kill this guy. And once he realizes that Brooke was about to kill him, he's trying to army crawl his way out of this area, and he's like, "You fuckers are crazy. You are all crazy. I did everything you asked."
People my name.
Man, I don't even think I heard your name. I don't know who any of you are.
Well, I must have misread this whole scenario.
Well, guys, I mean,
my name is Thomas Carver III.
Well,
this is
Thomas,
the name you will never speak again.
I think it's time for us to wind down a little bit. Sun's gone down. I hear there's this celebration going on at this place called the Beehive.
Oh, I heard
think we
about
should head that
yeah,
way.
yeah, fire, actually.
So can I loot the bodies, Glenn?
Yeah, the bodies are going to have maces, heavy crossbows, and leather armor on them. And a couple of, let's say 2 gold apiece.
Yeah, I'll just grab 2 of the gold.
Yeah, you got it.
And then I give that actually I just take all the gold and give it to the kid.
Hi guys.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so as you guys turn around to leave the alley, like you walk out the alley, like the kids are there, they're looking at Rockar, and one of the kids just like points behind him, and boy is there a gangly half orc in a wizard's outfit standing there.
You son of a bitch!
It's
You got
me.
us so much trouble.
Wait, what? What did I do?
You.
So I like burst through and run up to him. Like, are you Dorvis?
Uh,
I'm a giant. What are them guys called again?
He's a
Goliath.
Goliath. A Goliath.
Big old Goliath, just covered in hammers.
you
and
know,
stars and
Dorvis could be anybody. I don't know if that's me necessarily.
That's exactly what Dorfus would say, man.
Brooke, you stay out of this.
Dorvis, you're not necessarily in trouble. He just wants to ask some questions of you. All right.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna get like pretty close to him and kind of loom over him. So I heard you were talking to Toric after he killed somebody.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Yeah. So who did he kill, and what did y'all talk about?
We just talked about painting, and it was all like a very look, it was all very personal. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what he was talking about because we were kind of like he was confessing to me and like this little confession thing. It was all very.
Are you a preacher?
Oh no.
Well then, yeah, you can talk about what he said.
Oh, I mean,
boom.
I guess that's how that works.
And I loom like a little closer to his face.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know who exactly he killed. I mean, he just killed someone and used their blood to make a painting. I really don't. He didn't give me a lot of specifics.
So people have been disappearing in the Outer Ring, and I'm pretty sure it's related to Toric. So I'm trying to get that figured out.
But
I don't know,
Torch's a nice
Rockhard
guy.
Depek, champion of the people. I don't know if you've heard of me or not.
What's your name?
Rockhard Depek.
Honestly, no, I haven't heard of you at all.
Well, anyway, where do I find this Torvis guy? Toric, you're Dorvis. That's right.
Torque. Well, I mean, he might still be at his church because he has
So
a
he's a preacher?
He has a church.
Yeah, it's the I honestly I've forgotten the name at this point, but yeah, I mean I can bring y'all there if that's what we want to do.
I mean,
I feel like I've stumbled upon something a little. What are you guys doing in an alleyway anyway? It took me a while
We
to
were
find
gonna
you
go.
guys.
We were on our way to a party. That's the only thing we were doing in the alley.
yeah, it was a shortcut from the other street.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a shortcut, and we're heading on down to the Beehive.
Dorvis, you like look around, like you see that this alley terminates like 10 feet in the opposite direction.
well, this one's a dead end, guys. Pretty
Exactly why we're curious about how you wound up in here.
sure. I get around.
Dorvis, you saw some kids cleaning up blood, and you said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And so they brought you over here. That's why you're here.
Okay, that's why I'm here. I said that.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys are talking about. We just like murdered a couple people, and
Oh.
well, they were trying to attack us first.
It was
Oh.
self-defense. Let's stop using murder as the description. It was self-defense.
Yeah, we
Self-defense,
murdered them in self-defense.
Flash of fun, mostly self-defense.
Wait, what did you guys do?
Again, it's not that they just attacked us. I mean,
For like no reason?
we were talking about the controversy of Toric.
Oh.
Yeah, and they attacked us.
Well, if you guys want to go to the church, I can bring you guys there.
Well, I'm pretty hungry, and he doesn't sound like he's gonna leave his church, huh?
I mean, that's a good of a guess as mine, honestly.
I'd say we'd like go in the morning maybe, but right now I'm hungry. I want some drinks. The Beehive. I
That
hear that's
beef
where
bones.
the party is.
I mean, all I know is he called himself the Crimson Painter or something, and like I didn't know he was Turk back then. I actually know Turk pretty well. I met him before, so I'm a little concerned that there's a whole controversy about him apparently.
But didn't you just say he confessed about painting with blood?
Yeah, and that's pretty big news to me.
Well,
All right.
Man, that's some.
Look, I just knew about this like recently, guys. I thought he was a pretty good guy till this point.
So, by chance, Dorvis, on your way back from the church, you happened, like, walking along this street. The beehive is actually on the way to the church.
Oh, fantastic.
So, you can hit both in one, like, easy swoop.
Hey, guys, we're heading in the right direction. We might as well just hit both. I mean...
Okay.
Cool. I mean, I was one spin the, hang out, spin.
Well, I mean, I know you're hungry. Here's a sandwich. If you want it.
What? I don't know where you got that sandwich. I don't trust it.
Look, I got some food. All right.
I'm pretty sure all the places are closed. It's dark now.
Look,
where did you get a
things
sandwich?
today when a store was open. All right. I thought I would be hungry, and then I just wasn't. All right. Do you want it?
I'm sure I'll take it. Yeah, why not?
All right, you have another ration now, Ken. So you guys start walking towards.
I'm just eating it now.
Yeah, you guys start walking towards the beehive, and like as you approach the doors, you hear people going nuts inside, like more so than just like your average like party, like at a bar, like regardless of whether or not they're celebrating, Causeway your way or not, like people are going crazy in this building.
Oh man!
I stopped Ken before we go inside. Hey, you remember that spice we bought yesterday?
That was today, but yeah.
First of all, Tom.
Did you already take some of it without me, man?
No.
I'm self-offended.
I'm always tripping on my Tai Chi and my secret special sauce. I put my my pipe, but that's neither here nor there.
What are you guys
trying to get weird
about?
and take some of the spice?
All right, yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay,
Hold the
so
spice.
yeah, you guys both take spice. We'll talk about status conditions here in a second, as far as like mechanically. If it comes into play, we'll talk about the mechanics of the spice. But for now, we're going to say that it acts somewhere between the sort of upper nature of something like cocaine and like the hallucinogenic aspects of something like magic mushrooms. Okay, it's like somewhere falling in between of there.
About right.
That's exactly what I expected.
Exactly what price is.
So, you guys, who wants to go in first to the beehive?
I got this. Let's go.
All right. So Ken like busts the doors open, and you are greeted with a sight that you never thought that you would see ever. There is a large mechanical owl bear, directly in the center of the beehive, and riding on this is a pretty much half-naked Walter. You see Craig sort of off in the corner. Walter's like people are cheering at Walter. They're tossing like silver pieces at him. Like he is having the time. He's singing at the top of his lungs, like along with the band. Like people are going nuts. Like they're chanting his name. Some people have like painted across their bare chest the Tang Gang. Like people are going nuts in the beehive for Walter, who, like I said, is like very scantily clad at the moment, and Craig's off in the corner, just like bewildered at everything that's going on.
Remind me what we're doing here again.
We're partying, man. We're partying. Let's go to the bar.
How
I'm
big
ready.
is Craig?
Craig is 5.
diameter.
He's 4 foot height, like off the ground. No, sorry, he's 5 feet off the ground. He's and he's 4 foot in diameter. Yeah.
Okay, so like how wide is the hole in him? For those people watching right now, he is shaped like a donut.
Yeah. 3 feet.
Yeah.
It's 3 feet hole, and then like half a foot each side to make the donut.
Could I fit inside that hole?
No, no, you cannot, Brooke. I appreciate the fact that you're thinking outside the box like this for future reference. But speaking of Walter, for embracing the inner freak in all of us, I'm giving you inspiration. By the way, I meant to give you that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on your character sheet, click on the inspiration box.
I see it. It's a little sunrise.
Yeah, you know how inspiration works, right?
I can turn any roll into a natural 20.
No. So inspiration is you can either turn any roll into a roll with advantage, or any roll into a roll with disadvantage, and you can give inspiration to other party members as well.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking about Monster of the Week. That's what luck does. I
Yeah.
had the systems confused. All right.
So, Walter's going nuts. Brooke and Justin, Brooke and Ken, rather, you guys are starting to trip pretty hard. Rakhar and Dorvis, I mean, needless to say, this is a sight that, Dorvis, you thought you'd literally never see ever. Rakhar, you don't really know, like, you knew Walter a little bit,
Yeah.
but, like, this is still sort of new territory for you as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the bar and just start drinking and take a short rest.
Yeah, absolutely. This will count as a short rest for everyone.
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
Nice.
I don't have arcane recovery. Dang.
So, this would be a good time for another suggestion from our audience. It'll be the last suggestion of the night before we start to wind down with the events of what's going on here. So, can I get one more suggestion about the events that occur within the Beehive? A single word for a suggestion. The first one I see is going to be the one that I take. That's going to be sort of theming around what major event happens in the Beehive. So whenever I see one, I'm going to go ahead and grab it. In the meantime, we have Rakhar drinking, Ken and Brooke tripping. Dorvis, what are you doing?
I'm sitting at a table trying to process everything that's going on right now, and also wondering, God, I thought I knew Torek, and I wonder what else in my life is going to go wrong at this point.
Yeah, you guys are all like having a great time. Walter, you eventually get thrown from the mechanical owl bear, but like onto like cushioning padding, and like people immediately let's say this: you get thrown from it, and people like a wave like grab you and put you back on it. So Hobbit is the suggestion, by the way. Hobbit is the suggestion. So yeah, you get put back on the owl bear, and the owl bear is going crazy. How are you feeling right now, Walter?
Yo, he feels like he feels really good. He can do anything and achieve it. He feels unafraid to do to follow his instincts, no matter what they are.
So,
I cheer for Walter a little bit. Woo.
So a very large man in a scantily clad in a bee costume notices that you're cheering for Walter from behind the bar, and he's like gonna walk over to the table and he's gonna go,
Oh God.
"So, are you wouldn't happen to be Walter's friends, huh?"
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're
Walter's
friends.
Best friends.
Oh,
The bestest friends.
Yeah.
My name's Dave. Let me. Because you guys are such good friends with Walter, and Walter's bringing in tons of revenue right now. Like, people are going nuts for him. I'm gonna give you all something a little special, and he's gonna slide a baggie of more spice like towards the middle of the table.
All
And he's gonna say,
right.
"Now, on the record, I never met you guys. Off the record, y'all better have one hell of a time tonight."
Yeah, man,
Oh.
Dorcas, this means you have to take a hit now. You do rock hard.
Do a wand bump, Dorvis.
I've never had spice before. I don't know what.
Just a wand bump, man. Come on.
What is
Just a
that?
wand bump.
It's
What-
something no to something in my
I put a
life.
little bit of spice on the tip of my U wand, and I just put it up to his nose.
Oh shit.
Do you partake in the spice, Dorvis?
I mean, I'm kind of pressured too, so it just kind of happens. Like it
Oh.
happens so fast that I just instinctively suck it up my nose. Like, oh shit.
All right, so the effects, because Dorvis, you've never done this before, instantly hit
Yeah.
you. Like you
Oh,
are,
shit.
and I'll say that like Ken, Brooke, Dorvis, like you guys are like now in party mode. Like Walter's been in party mode, but you guys are all like ready to go. So you don't actually notice. Rakhar, you're gonna be the only one who notices. That like after a certain point during the party, the crowd almost falls silent whenever someone walks through the door. This someone is almost as if an Elvis impersonator or an Egyptian
Oh.
pharaoh,
Oh no.
except for he's missing a cape.
Oh no.
Oh god! Oh god!
Brooke, Walter,
Viewers.
Dorvis, and Ken, you do not notice this guy at all. Rakhar,
yeah,
how
whatever.
familiar are you with the entertainment industry in on the country of Grendel?
So I'm fairly particular to drinking and partying. and substances. So I've definitely noticed most of the higher named entertainers before.
All right. Yeah, you recognize like this guy. Pretty much everyone knows him. He is the soup producer known as Swift Johansson, who is looking particularly healthy tonight. But he walks in, and he announces to everybody. He goes, "Hey guys, this party's really alive. I'd hate to see it die on us." And then he's going to look directly at Walter, and you recognize that as a threat.
But do I remember that Walter was like originally in the group? Like he's still recognizable enough for me to tell he's Walter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I immediately like walk up and walk in front of him and just kind of loom over him.
Over Swift?
Swift.
Yeah, over Swift.
Swift's gonna look at you and go, "Now, brother, I don't think that you want to do anything you're gonna regret." And he's gonna reach up and put a hand on your shoulder. I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Oh boy.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
Oh, fuck, oh.
Oh.
And 8.
So
that was well, my bad.
Yeah. So you are incredibly charmed by this figure. I mean, charmed to the point where he can't do no wrong. He's here to party, right? We're all here to party.
So I'm like super excited to see him now. I just like reach down and grab him in a bear hug and like pick him up and shake him around a little.
Oh, and he's laughing. He's having a great time. And he's gonna look at everybody and he's going to let's see. He's going to cast a spell.
Uh-oh.
Everyone make wisdom saving throws.
Oh boy. Let me just...
Man.
I got it.
Right.
What was
Hold
it?
on.
20.
So good at wisdom. How to roll so bad?
Wisdom save 9.
So Rakhar, you got a.
Wait.
So Rakhar got the 20.
Yeah.
Rakhar, you're already charmed. So this roll with disadvantage. I should have told you that already.
Oh.
But he's going to be making a very heavy suggestion towards. I see yours, Walter.
I got an 11.
11.
Yeah, I also got an 11.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Yep. Everyone. So Swift is going to make the suggestion. Hey, fellas, I'm about to have a table read for one of my new plays that I'm about to put out.
Oh no.
It's called Hobbits Take Causeway, and I thought this would be the perfect locale. Why don't you join me for this table read? And
I've always wanted to play Hobbit.
God, this being an actor
You
for
always
such a
wanted
long
to play-
time. I've performed since Hedwig and the Angry Elf, and I want to make a whole new world after that. I want to change, maybe be better, be different.
All right.
I'm just gonna the spice, brother. Hell yeah, I'm down.
All right. And then Swift raises his hand wide and says, "Well then, everybody else, it's your job to party. It's my job to do what super producers do." And he's gonna clap it. He's gonna like clap his hands together, and instantly all of you guys are going to be teleported to a very empty room that has a single table in the middle, illuminated by like a magical light, with just enough chairs for everybody who's in this room. And Swift goes, "Now, everybody, why don't you go ahead and take a seat for old Swift? And Walter, before you sit down, baby, I believe you have something that belongs to me."
Oh no.
Walter, you can make a wisdom saving throw to try to break out of the charm.
Yeah, because I feel like I would do it because of the 19.
You, I believe you break out of the charm. Yes, you do. So you are now no longer charmed by Swift. Everyone else, you have remained charmed.
I'm gonna go ahead and go take a seat. I'm completely
here.
like entranced in the spice,
Same
but
here.
I'm still doing what my
I'm
body
still-
is acting, but I'm like
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
I'm
there.
going to take a seat. I'm still bobbing my head to
Music that no one else
the
can hear.
no music. Yeah,
Yeah.
the music no one else can hear. Just,
Brooke is
Oh.
like talking to Ken and Dorman's like, hey, I don't know this bad spice, but I feel like we're not in the club anymore.
So, Brooke, yeah,
I
it's
don't know
worth
about
noting.
you, man, but this music is great. I love this club.
Dorvis is zoned the fuck out.
Yeah, so Ken and Brooke, you're not sure if you're hallucinating Swift right now. Walter, you know this is Swift. Brooke, you have
Damn,
no idea who
if
this guy is.
Swift, we'd be
I don't know who
fucked,
this
man.
guy. This seems cool.
Like,
All right. So, Walter, yeah, you've broken out of your charm. Rakhar, you're still charmed right now. We're gonna say it will take another like 5 minutes in world before you guys can make another wisdom saving throw. Or whenever your character hears something from Swift that like would be a trigger for you to try to break out of the charm, you can go ahead and roll for it then. But until then, Swift is gonna look at Walter and say, "Now, Walter, baby, I thought I just told you to take a seat over there, and give me back what's rightfully mine."
Walter's like kind of frozen in terror because he knows what he did, and oh man, he's
Walter, baby, there's no hard feelings. There's no hard feelings from Swift. Swift don't have no hard feelings for anybody. At least nobody that's still with us. So why don't you go ahead and take a seat over there at that table?
yeah.
Oh,
He tries. He takes the cape,
Yeah,
folds it up neatly.
And Swift just reaches out and says, "Now, Walter, you've done the right thing. By the way, good choice on those boots. Go sit down."
Sits.
Yeah. So Swift is going to like stand over everyone and go, "All right, everybody. I'm glad that we all had a good time today. It was actually a lot harder to find you all than I originally intended for it to be. It's almost like you dropped off the map for a couple of days, but now that you're here with me, baby, the party can actually begin." Now, Swift has heard that you guys are asking questions about one of Swift's good friends, and Swift is not a big fan of questions being asked about things that don't need to be asked about. Now, you guys wouldn't know anything about that, now would you?
Yeah. Can I try to make a saving throw?
Absolutely.
alright. Can we all? Oh, okay.
Yeah, a 10.
Yeah, you don't break out of it.
Torik's a good friend of mine. I met him just yesterday.
Oh,
I'm
really?
just here to party.
Yeah.
And party you
Yeah.
will, Ken. I just
Been to, man.
need a little bit of information before I let you guys go back to your party, alright? Swift don't want to do no harm to any of you. Swift is a good guy. Swift likes you all a lot, and I hope you all like Swift. Isn't that right, Walter?
Oh my god.
Walter, I believe I just asked you a question, and I expect you to respond to me in a kindly manner. I have been nothing but a gracious host to you all this time. Oh, Walter. It's alright, I understand.
I'm just so speechless right now. I'm sure you understand why.
Oh no, being in the room with me, people say I exert a certain presence about me. Not unlike my friend over here. And Swift gestures to the side, and out of the shadows comes Toric. Toric walks out of the shadows, and he looks at Dorvis, and he goes, Dorvis, buddy, you know that confessions are supposed to be a private thing, that you're not supposed to go around talking about business you don't have any business talking about,
Yeah.
right? I said that to you.
Oh god. And like, I see Torik, he says that to me immediately. I just like sober up for a second, and I'm like, but I'm not a preacher. I can't. But wait.
Rokhar, go ahead and roll with
coerced.
advantage. You're
Disadvantage?
with advantage. The guy you're hunting is right in front of you.
16.
You break out of it. You're no longer charmed.
Torque. So, you're the one I've been looking for and asking questions about.
Toric looks at you and says, "Oh, I am." And
Yeah.
and who might you be?
Well, I'm hard to pick. The people's champion, obviously.
People's champion, yeah.
Uh-huh. And now why would you be looking for someone like me? You looking to commission something? I'm a
Well-
fantastic painter, you know.
Pretty sure
that
you've
all-
been
is that all-
referring my friends to paint your paintings.
Well,
That's problematic.
you look like you're an artisan of sorts yourself. Don't you understand that all great art takes a certain amount of sacrifice? Swift, buddy, you know that all great art takes a certain amount of sacrifice. Well,
It's
yes, I do,
sacrifice from
Torek.
the artists, not from other people.
Could I try to roll a wisdom save by this point?
Yeah, go ahead. Just a regular flat save.
Never mind.
Brooke-
Never
Brooke
mind.
is-
It was a 2, so I'm still.
Yeah.
I'm
It's having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to roll a wisdom save as well, since I'm kind of freaked out by the fact Torik's here and that I did something horrible. 17.
You break out of it. So
Oh,
currently,
shit.
currently, Walter, Rohar, and Dorvis are not charmed. Ken and Brooke still are. Torek
Man,
eyes
why is
you.
everyone here so intense, Brooks? Like,
Yeah.
man,
Bad trip, man.
you guys are making this thing a bummer.
There's a wrong kind of spice.
So Torek's gonna look at you, Rohar, and go. You know, I think actually, no. You do look familiar. I've seen you around Causeway before. You're the investigator, right? You go out and you try to find bad guys and bring them to justice. All that. Honestly,
the
all that.
people's champion. That's me.
Is that what you call yourself?
Oh,
You know-
that's what the people call me.
Let me ask you something, Rohar.
I'd like to challenge the validity of that title. I've not said that ever.
Regardless of how valid that title may be, Rohar, you look familiar. Tell me something. Actually, when was the last time that you talked to your sister?
Last time I was really drunk, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's been a couple of weeks. Hey, whenever you get back to Causeway, I think you should check in on her. I've heard that she's turned into something really beautiful.
I feel like Brooke is kind of
Oh shit.
gets the idea that maybe this ain't a fun party. I'm sensing a little bit of threats going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me
So
see.
you're telling me you turned my sister into a painting?
I didn't say anything like that. People have glow ups all the time around these parts and these days, it's one of the things that happens. I'm just saying,
Right.
it's
Oh.
never good to let a family member go to waste. Not a relationship like that.
Yeah. So in relation to the table and Torek, how are we situated?
So, you're all sitting, like, I'll say if you lunge, you can probably reach Torek.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up and like throw my chair at him, and then just start like running towards him.
All right. So, yeah, Torek, like, literally just stands there. And, like, you throw your chair. Make an attack roll for that chair. How good are you at throwing objects? With dexterity as your modifier instead of strength. Not proficient.
No, an 11.
Yeah. So the chair, like, it gets thrown a little bit wide, like it doesn't actually come in contact with him, but you like rush him down. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do a grapple, like
Okay.
to try and like pin him up against the wall.
Yeah. Go ahead and make
And
a.
I get one higher size advantage for that, right?
Yeah.
So what is that?
Athletics check.
How would I do that with the paper?
So roll d20 and add your athletics bonus.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, 23.
Yeah. So you go to grab, like, you like lunge across the table, like you jump out over it, like even Swift like sort of like flinches at it, but whenever you go to grab onto Torek, like you like phase right through him, and whenever you look down, you see that your arms are like where you went to grapple, and like the front of your chest is just blood.
Like my arms are gone and they're just
No,
bleeding?
like you're covered in blood.
Oh, God.
And
Hmm.
Torek turns around and goes, Dorvis, do you remember what the name of my church was?
Not. It really escapes me at the moment.
Let's just say there's a reason I'm called the Crimson Painter. And it's not so I deal with low lives like you, Rahar. Now, I'm going to let Swift let you guys go at my behest because, quite frankly, I don't have time to deal with all of you right now. There's art to be made. Swift, you have projects to be working on right now too, I'm sure. But always remember, you never know who's the audience and who's the artist. And then Swift is going to teleport you guys back into the bar. And whenever you get there, you find that everyone who was partying, every single person who was at that bar, are lifeless husks on the ground. Their souls sucked from them by a malevolent force.
Where's Craig?
Malevolent?
Is Craig still there?
You can't find Craig. Like just
no.
looking around, you can't find him.
Where's Dave Bautista? Is he?
Yeah, he's also. Everyone that was in that room is gone.
Man,
I just have the thought that I'm just like, I confessed to that guy. Oh God.
Walter's done partying. He's
Just-
his
more
cape is
What?
gone. He had man.
Wait, what the hell just happened?
They're
What
all
happened,
dead.
everyone? What
I-
happened?
They're all dead.
They're all dead.
dead. Swift showed up. I lost my cape. I was
Wait,
starting to
no,
feel
wait.
really good about
Oh, yeah, I
myself.
guess
I was starting to
take it.
feel a lot better.
And-
Like I'd improved to a certain
Wait,
degree, and
Swift-
I felt so mead.
Swift was here.
Yes,
Yes,
he teleported us somewhere, and we had a conversation. Where you?
a terrible stage reading.
Honestly, I didn't really get a chance to read it.
Where the hell? Where am I?
Brooke, it's okay.
Hi.
We're back at the Beehive.
Oh, dope. So I never left. Cool.
No,
Alright.
yeah, sure, Brooke.
So at this moment, like a bunch of like guards come in, but like they literally pay you all no mind, and they just start cleaning up bodies.
Oh God, it's an inside job.
And one of them sort of like picks up something from the ground, like I was like underneath the body, and holds it up, and it looks like a brass like metal gasket, and he like eyes it up and he says, "I guess somebody was carrying around a hunk of junk," and just like tosses it to the
Have
side,
that.
and it clangs
go
down
take it.
onto the ground.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go grab it.
You have a metal gasket.
I look at it. I'm like, Craig,
Craig.
put that somewhere on my person safe.
Oh, he's gonna be pretty heavy.
Oh, well, it's a how big is this gasket?
It's Craig was a gasket.
Oh, so it's
He's
It's-
still that
it's
huge.
Craig. He's still that huge 4-foot diameter
I thought it was a
gasket.
piece of Craig. No,
No.
it's Craig. All
It's
right,
the
well,
Hall of Craig.
I'm gonna try to carry him, I guess, and like
Oh.
bring him out. Oh man.
At some point, while the guards are cleaning up, he just like says over his shoulder, he's like, "Yeah, you guys need to leave now."
What the?
I'm walking out.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna grab a drink from behind the bar while I'm sitting there, and then carry it out with me.
I'm gonna head out. I'm pretty concerned about my sister currently.
Yeah. So, Rahar, you're going to go check on your sister.
Yeah.
All right, we'll follow him, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So, Rahar, you're going towards your sister. There's work now to be done. Do you really want the rest of these people following you to assist in your work?
I've never been one to turn away an audience.
Yeah.
I'll let my minstrels follow.
Okay. So, as you're walking, Rahar, out of the corner of your eye, you see somebody who's been watching out of you've noticed him out of the corner of your eye. It's undoubtedly a very, very small dwarf that if I had to guess, you have some questions for.
What was this small dwarf's name again?
Chartel.
Chartel. He's staring at us, or he's coming to meet us.
No, here's what he does. he looks at you and like catches your eye, and then he goes, like he looks rather concerned.
Yeah, I go ahead and follow him.
All right. Whenever you're a little bit ahead of everyone else because Brooke was grabbing a drink, Walter was grieving over Craig's lifeless body, Ken was snapping back to reality, and Dorvis is like shell shocked about what just happened. So you're a bit ahead. As Chartel pulls you aside, he says, "Hey, I ditch the other people. Let's just have a talk, blacksmith to blacksmith."
Oh, they're all incompetent. They don't know anything. It's fine.
No, I don't think you understand. I need you, and just you.
Oh, okay.
Come with me. There's work that the guild needs done. And he's going to lead you off to the side. And as Dorvis, Walter, Brooke, and Kentorla exit the beehive, you find that Rakhar is nowhere to be found. You're left in the middle of a lifeless street with the remnants of what used to be a party sort of plaguing the area like a miasma. This is not the way the night was supposed to go. This is not the way that this adventure was supposed to go. There's clearly something wrong with Grendel. And whether or not you decide that is something that you need to bother yourselves with, there is blood on each of your hands for one reason or another. A chance for redemption, maybe, for people who are clearly evil and want terrible, terrible things for this place that you call home and the people that you love are the people who could love you. And because of that, after this night, you may have found your reason to fight. And that's where we're going to end things for tonight. So, as always...
That's heavy.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you very much to T Marcus 8 for following. I hope you tune in to the rest of the streams that continue forward. This is our third session, technically our fourth episode. Just so you know, this episode will be released on Spotify, iTunes, and all your podcasting providers next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will be streaming next Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time with a new guest, as always. That is all that we have for tonight. If you have any suggestions as far as how the stream could improve, things that we can do to sort of help out with audience interactions, any suggestions at all, I have a suggestion box below my channel that you're more than welcome to utilize. Thank you.
Add us on Twitter.
Yeah, add us on Twitter,
Yeah.
shoot us
Yeah,
messages, follow us on Instagram.
Let me know
Uh,
what I'm doing
Instagram,
wrong
yeah.
with Brooke.
And we are going to say goodbye one by one. But just so you know, like I said, we will be back. Thank you, of course, to my wonderful moderator, Deep That, who is one of my good friends. I am glad that he tuned in. Wititney, as always, thank you for joining in as well. I always appreciate it whenever you come to watch the streams. You're the best. And thank you for everybody who watched or is listening as the streams continue. If you're watching the VOD, listening to the podcast, anything like that, we always welcome you. Please come back and watch us again. Let's go ahead and sign off. Hey, Chase, who did you play and where can we find you?
Hey, this is Chase. I played Dorvis, and you can find me on Twitch at Cut to the Chase, or you can find me on Twitter at Cut to the Chase 9.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, I'm Justin. I played Kentorla. You can find me on Twitter at DDice Gaming or on Twitch at Drinks and Dice Gaming.
All right, thank you very much. Hey, Vince.
I'm still processing all this. This was so
I know.
good. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, I'm Vincent. Today I was the voice. Every day I've been the voice of Walter Tang, and you can find me on Instagram. I'm a theater major because it's no secret. I'm a
Hey.
theater major.
Thank you, Vincent.
Yeah, you could have fooled me.
Hey, Brendan.
I'm Brendan, playing the role of, or the character of Brooke, indubitably. Find me on Twitter, tweet at me, tell me why I suck, at Brendan Vice. Also, before we end, I really wanted to put my one thing in. Can we please be called the Tang Gang now?
Oh my god.
I like the Tang Gang.
I love that.
We can. I will rename the group me right now to the Tang Gang.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
don't know where else I can show up though in the stream canonically.
We'll figure it
I'm
out.
not- Yeah, we'll find a spot.
All right.
Improv.
And finally, thank you to our very special guest, Ben. Hey, Ben, why don't you tell us about where we can find you, what you work on, and how we can find sort of examples of what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Ben. I played Rock Hard Peck today.
Love the name.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Backwards Anvil, and I make everything from tools such as hammers and chisels to more decorative things like pendants and keychains, and even like multifunctional things like fireplace tools with decorative elements or grilling tools, things like that. And yeah, you can just follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Backwards Anvil.
All right. Thank you again to everybody who listened. We had fun playing today. I think we finally sort of have a direction for where the campaign's going. And I hope you had fun. Like I said, leave a suggestion in the suggestion box if you want to. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Say goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.